quite upset on the breakfast show. Eddie Hearn talked about it as well, saying that maybe they made a mistake with Conor. They thought that they had, that they had a relationship with him. They've been with him for a long time. They'd earned a little bit of loyalty.
Football fans all have stadiums we love, but do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no, which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham, because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park. And don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards, so do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows, but as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Very good morning, 4 minutes past 6. It's Tuesday, it is the 24th of February. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Gabby, how are you, mate? You enjoyed that game last night, eh?
Yeah. Ali, I'm going to start going to cinema, right? I'm going to start going to cinema. There's a couple of films I want to watch. Withering Heights.
You used to come with me. I went for a steak, mate.
Yeah, I want to watch that film, Ali. I might have to go there and watch that today, because last night, especially the first half, was a disgrace to football, really. And I feel sorry for every fan who paid to go and watch that game.
Well, I got the message from you just as I was finishing my steak. I had the kids done, as you know.
Yeah.
I went out for a nice steak. And then I got that message. Well, we're obviously following the game, the score. I got the message from you and I thought, you're beauty, I'm not missing much.
Yeah,
and then what I did was, I made the mistake of watching. I nearly said highlights when I went home. The highlight. I saw the goal. There was nothing
You
else.
can watch the highlights on you can press for it to be faster, fast forwards. That's what you should have watched it.
There was nothing going on. Good goal though.
It was a great goal, great counter attack. But obviously Keown and Tarkowski got found out lack of pace, especially Tarkowski.
Yeah,
he made Shesko look like Usain Bolt, didn't he?
He did.
The way he got past him, but
he went flying away.
First half, Ali. Pass to me, pass to you, pass to me, pass to you. We'll have 3 passes, then we'll make a sloppy pass. You'll give it us, we'll counter attack, and we'll have a sloppy pass. It was so poor. And is this a problem throughout the Premier League? Yes, we see the odd really good game. Of course we do. But overall, Ali, this isn't what we're used to. This isn't what it was like when we played. Wingers took defenders on. The amount of times I see it for my team as well, Villa. Oh, you can't go forward. Pass it back. Centre half, all have a touch. You go to the left back. You come back across. You go to the keeper. If I was at a game now, I don't go to games. If I was at games now, I'd be like, okay, let's go and get a drink and some food to my son.
I know. I'm thinking about it. Well, we should have a good chat about that. Is it a kind of dying art? I don't necessarily mean wide men in the game. I mean wide men that are prepared to go and take players on, like your Madiakis. Even Salah. I know Salah's not having a particularly great season, but when he was direct, he would go and take people on. Madiaki would be the same. Saka would be the same. Doku goes and takes people on. Apart from that.
No, but even what was good second half was Tyreek George come on loan from Chelsea.
Yes.
And he was getting our players.
Yeah.
I was like, hallelujah. Thank God someone's taking a player on. But if you think back to the Premier League era, 1995 to 2015, wingers non-stop.
Flying.
Get the ball out. I played there half my career. You got the ball 1v1. It was okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You're happy to get in that position. You don't.
And it is it's one of the best things in the game, I think.
You don't. I would never turn it down.
Somebody take somebody on.
That opportunity to take my fullback on. Now it's I'm not sure about that. Let's pass it back to my fullback. Then we kept it. Manager's happy. That's the way everyone plays now. It's really dull, boring football.
Good result for United, mate. I'm just looking at it right now. 4th place.
I know. They're doing it.
3 points above Chelsea. 3 points above Liverpool.
I know. Well,
Tell you what.
4 the last 5 Premier League.
I know. And the other, I think the other one was a draw at West Ham, which it was at, and they
beat Fulham.
I don't think they won that game. Maybe 7-8 weeks ago. It just shows you they've got a wee bit more.
Ali, I'm frightened as a Villa fan. They're catching us, mate. They're catching us.
Well, I said yesterday, mate, Villa will still finish in the Champions League places.
I don't think they will, mate. I really
What?
don't. You know why? Because
I've come in on a Tuesday morning to hear this.
Their form, Ali, has been poor, mate. Really poor. Home losses to Everton, to Brentford. Poor again against Leeds. Literally a last-minute equaliser from Abraham. They are struggling. I think it's anxiety around Villa Park as well of we have to finish in the top 5 because of the financial fair play. But if you look at the teams chasing us, Ali, we've still got to play Manchester United at Villa Park. We've got to play Chelsea at Villa Park. We've got Liverpool. We've got to come to Villa Park as well. Manchester City away, last game of the season. Wolves on Friday night. That's not going to be easy. Local derby. You're not having it, are you?
No, I think you'll be all right.
You reckon? I hope so, mate. But I'm just looking at the table.
The Gabby I knew, the positive Gabby I knew way back years ago, he would have said, Man United at home, we beat them, that puts them at...
Not the way we're playing, Ali. We're really missing John McGinn, mate.
I know.
And forget about McGinn being injured. I'm scared of when he actually retires, or leaves Villa. He's irreplaceable, mate. Energy. He can play off the right or left.
He's been brilliant, John. Hasn't he been brilliant?
Miss, mate, in that team. Kamara, Tielemans.
How long's he out for?
I think he's out for another 4 or 5 weeks, I'm sure.
Just you take your time, John. Make sure you're ready for the World Cup.
Get ready for the World Cup.
Joe. Well, as we mentioned, the final instalment of this round of Premier League games took place last night as informed Manchester United made their first trip to Hill Dickinson for the first time.
Manchester United visit Hill Dickinson for the first time. There's been no fixture in Premier League history that has seen as many away wins as this one. Keenan Dewsbury Hall works his square and Lommans can make the save from Armstrong. Mainu, good ball in and Burma was there. and then fires it over the bar.
Every time an Everton team pass the ball sideways or backwards, there's a rumbling around the ground because obviously they want the team to get forward and get forward quickly.
It has long felt like a game where first goal might win it. Brian and Burmo will chase after it. He's only got Michael Keane and the keeper between him and goal. He's rolling square, and Šeško puts it into the bottom right-hand corner. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil with 20 minutes to go. And Manchester United have done to Everton here what Everton did to them at Old Trafford. 1 goal enough. It was Benjamin Šeško that scored it tonight. Everton 0, Manchester United 1.
Did I just say they made their first trip for the first time? I think I did. That's me off and running. The boys are laughing. Manchester United made the first trip to Hell Dickinson for the first time.
Easily happens.
I'm not sure I get enough firsts in there. Well, United have jumped into 4th place. As I mentioned earlier, Gab, ahead of both Chelsea and Liverpool. Thanks to that winner from Benjamin Šeško. After the match, interim boss Michael Carrick was singing the praise of that particular striker.
Ben's in a really good place at the moment. We love him to bits. I think he's the way he works every day, his attitude to it. He wants to improve, wants to learn. I think part of our duty as well is to help him keep taking steps in the right direction. And I think we're so quick to be quite extreme with players at times, and either so good or not so good. But I think managing that and keeping him on a good track and supporting him and. He'd be a big player, he'd be an important player here for a long time. I'm sure that he's got the attributes to do that, and he's a big part of that forward line. So he's certainly not here just to be a substitute. But recently, he's made a huge impact for that, and credit to him because we've obviously needed him.
He has, Gabby. I would say him and Gyökeres just begin to turn the corner, look the part both their goals and their performances. Is that fair?
Maybe we're too quick to.
Yeah, myself included.
Criticise
myself
strikers
included.
that come to the Premier League. But what he's done recently, Ali, and what I like about Šeško, is it doesn't look like he's spitting his dummy out when he's not starting.
Yeah.
He's okay. He comes on and he works his socks off.
He gets it.
The hunger to get that goal yesterday as well, to break his neck from the halfway line, to get in. And he's got a great finish on him. That goal against West Ham we talked about.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you. I am telling you, that finish against West Ham's out of this world.
Yep.
The defender, is it decisive? I'm not sure as comes across, thinks there's nothing he can do there.
Yep.
And he clips it into the top corner. It's a brilliant finish.
That's 6 goals in 2026.
Yeah.
7 in total in the Premier League for Šeško. And I think now he's worked himself into the starting lineup. I felt like the Mbumo as a striker, it worked for certain games. But I feel now you need a vocal point, don't you? Maybe next game he starts.
I think they've got options now. Do you know what I mean? That's the one thing, they've got options. Yep. We heard former United captain Stevie Bruce, he was alongside Jim Proudfoot in commentary duties last night. He was full of compliments for the Red Devils, front 3 in total. He explained that they're a great example of spending well, and it's paying off now on the pitch.
Well, that's what you pay the money for. How often have we said it's all about players at the end of the day? And good coaches need good players. And certainly them 3 in that combination. The great pass from Cunha and a wonderful pass, and Mbumo, the way he took it and laid it into Šeško. Šeško didn't even have to take a touch. Wonderful goal. A good enough goal to win any match. It was the only real bit of quality we've seen in it. But then again, Man United have shown a little bit of desire after it. Comes into the box, the corners. The goalkeeper was immaculate. They tried to bully him. Didn't work all night. They looked after him as good as they can, and I have to say the goalkeeper stood up to every challenge that was thrown at him.
By the way, he's made a difference as well, the goalie. Don't worry about that.
Safe hands.
Yeah. Do you know what I think as well, Gabby? Look, like, you sometimes don't realise the importance, the confidence that he has actually on the back 4. Do you know what I mean? Like the 2 centre-backs are looking back going, he's all right. We can have a bit of him. Yep. Do you know what I mean?
There was a save late on from Tyreek George where he literally caught the shot. Fantastic, and he just caught it.
Yeah.
But Onana would have spilled it. Beto was running in for a tap in, probably then equalise. Yeah. You were like, drop more points. But safe hands, even from all the corners, it was chaos, Ali. Honestly, it was like WWF. Tarkowski, Maguire throwing each other on the floor and then laughing about it. Yara and Maguire wrestling. The referee booked Tarkowski, and it was like, guys, come on. But every time the ball went onto the keeper, problem, punched it away.
I saw was Big Moisey on the pitch at the end of the game. Was he unhappy with the referee about something?
Yeah, I think, I switched it off then, mate. I was like, enough's enough, man. They'll go to sleep.
I saw him come on. I was watching. I saw him come on. I thought, oh, big fella's not happy. Okay, Manchester United fans, I want to hear from you this morning. Could you be title contenders next season? There's a question. Is Michael Carrick the man to take you forward at this moment in time? Surely yes. How good are your summer signings proving to be? They've been excellent. Get in touch, please, guys. Give us a call. You know the drill. 03717 223344. Right, plenty to come in breakfast. What a morning we've got ahead of us, Gab. And what a show we've got for you, including not one but two Winter Olympic medalists. Fantastic. Tabby Stoker and Zoe Atkin are right here in the studio. That is brilliant. Saw them all arrive back at Gatwick. Well done to them all. Winter Olympics. I loved it. I've got to say, I absolutely loved it. Coming up next, we're going to ask what we've really learned from Arsenal's 4-1 victory at Spurs at the weekend.
Points clear at the top of the table, Hearts, at the moment. Celtic do have a game in hand, but they're 6 points further back. So even if they won that, the gap would still be 3. And of course, to next Sunday, those two play each other in the Old Firm game. Is the loser out of the title race?
Pretty well, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Rangers in a slightly better position, aren't they? Probably look favourites to win that game now.
Hearts have got to keep their nerve. I thought the game at Ibrox last week against Rangers, it got the better of them a little bit. They looked a little bit leggy, but they also looked like the atmosphere was there. You saw, here it is, you're in a big league now, you're challenging these guys, the established orthodoxy, to some extent, albeit Rangers haven't won the SPFL that much over the last 10 or 11 years since their demise and repackaging of the club, but you're still playing against giants, and you could feel the atmosphere in the stadium, and I felt that Hearts succumb to it a little bit. So now it's upon them. It's in their own hands. They've got to be able to ride the storm. Celtic and Rangers do. All right, it is 20 minutes past 6, talkSPORT breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Take a quick call. Somebody's dialed 03717 223344, and it is Jack. Jack's a Manchester United fan, and he thinks, Jack, you're coming for the Villa. Good morning, Jack.
Good morning, gents. First of all, just like to say I love the show.
Thank you, Jack. It's only a matter of time. You're after the Villa, surely the Gabby's Villa.
Yeah, easily. 100% we're coming for you. I mean, we've got you. I think our third game coming up, we've got you. We'll beat you there, and we'll beat you. We'll get to the third spot.
Well, shouldn't you?
Oh, wait a minute.
The squad you've got, the money you spent, shouldn't you be beating Villa and finishing above them?
I mean, yes.
Oh, thank you.
And that's exactly what we're going to do.
No problem. And
Jack,
so we should.
Jack, what? Tell me what you think the biggest difference has been since Michael's come in, because the transformation, I've got to say, has been fantastic. Even the game, I was at the game West Ham. I've seen you a few times. I was at the game at West Ham, and I'm thinking to myself, it's a game you'd probably have lost maybe 7-8 weeks ago, maybe not even as much as long as that. What do you think's the biggest difference, mate?
I think just possibly the unity. He's brought the team together. I think the players trust him. They know what he's done. As opposed to Amorim, you've got someone who's come in from a different league. But obviously everyone knows Carrick, and from his previous spell as well, he did well. So, yeah, I think just trust, brought the team together, confidence.
Played the right formation.
We're in a good place.
Played players in the right positions.
Well done, Jack. Good on you, mate. Enjoy your Tuesday. I can't love it. 20 minutes past 6 and the first caller's given you. Let's take a quick call. I've just done that. We've got another one.
In traffic, mate. On the way to work.
We're going to have a look at this morning's back pages. Olivia's with us.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
Olivia, very good morning.
Hello.
Early, didn't it, Olivia?
Yeah, I went a little bit early.
Bit like Chelsea on the weekend, scoring early.
You've been waiting to do that. Can I just say you did exactly the same thing as us? You drew to Leeds at home, so I wouldn't be shouting about it, mate.
Yeah, but Burnley.
Yeah, whatever.
Do us a favour.
Anyway, in more important topics,
Yes,
we're not going to start with the back pages, although I think it should be a front page story, to be perfectly honest.
I've seen it.
Punch the monkey.
No, punch.
I am obsessed.
I hasten to add, that's the name of the monkey.
Yeah, not
an instruction. Right.
Yeah, we don't want
Just to
anyone
clarify it
to
out there, guys. I want clarification. That is not an instruction. It is, in fact, a name.
Change his name.
We don't. No. Punch is cute now. He is a celebrity. This 6-month-old monkey has no idea how famous he is. Now he got abandoned by his mother.
Well, he wouldn't. Olivia, he's a monkey.
Obviously, but like he's actually like he's the most famous monkey, isn't he? He's the most famous monkey in the world.
The real headline would be "Monkey knows he's famous." That would be the headline.
I wonder if they like how they think. Anyway, basically got abandoned by his mother, got put into a Japanese zoo, and then all the other monkeys like attacked him and just like were being horrible to him. And so he got given an IKEA toy, an orangutan toy, and he was taking it everywhere with him around the zoo, cuddling onto it. And now the monkeys have started being nice to him. And it's actually page 27 of the Mail. Why a macaque, I think they say, why a macaque monkey with an orangutan soft toy for a substitute mother became the world's most famous animal. And now all of the other monkeys are being really nice to him, and it's 20 minutes away from Tokyo, and I'm actually going to Tokyo next month. I will be visiting Punch the Monkey. Can you actually lighten up, Gabby?
Hey,
you're just like...
listen, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'll be 100% honest with you, right? It definitely got in the McCoist household.
Not crying, like.
No, I didn't weep, but there were family members who were giving it.
It's the videos, isn't it? The videos of him cuddling the monkey.
That's the one. That is the one.
Ali, I was watching the North London derby, and my missus come and showed me on the phone, and I said to her like, "Okay."
No, it's cute, Gabby.
I know, but like, I'm trying to watch the North London derby, and she's coming and showing me like Instagram reels.
Dear.
I've like I've reposted
what's
everyone.
going on here, Ali?
I've reposted everyone.
What do you
mean? What's the world come to? He's getting bullied.
How do you know? I've been playing.
No, they weren't. You could tell they were like flinging him around.
I must admit, it's a great wee story.
It is a great story.
Can we go on to the sport?
Do we have to?
No, well.
By the way, that IKEA soft toy sold out. By the way, they've sold it out.
You know what's going to happen? Punch the Monkey's going to have his own Instagram page.
Yeah, probably.
I bet you
if the Japanese zoo have got anything about them, yeah, they absolutely.
We need to get another name for him, man. We can't call him Punch the Monkey. Yeah, there were serious assaults in every zoo in Eastern Europe and Western Europe. Zookeepers up and down the country will be terrified walking about monkey pens.
Oh. Anyway, that was my little Punch the Monkey update. But on the back pages, you have been talking about it. Benjamin Šeško, Šeško, the super sub, on the back page of the Mail. Then you've got Šeško Rebska, Šeško's finest on the back page of the Star. I like that. Yep. You've already spoken
he's doing well.
A little bit about him. Yep. 6 in his last 7. Obviously, got United the point against West Ham. Got them 3 against Everton. And I know you said he should be starting. Why do you think he's already not?
Oh, I didn't say he should be starting.
No, the next game. You said start the next game.
I said
off the back of the
I think Michael Carrick in particular will be absolutely delighted with his progress at this moment in time. He has given, what I would say, he's done well enough to give Michael the option of now starting him as well, as the main striker. So that's good. I mean, Michael knows that himself. It's one of these situations, and Gabby mentioned it, and I'm probably guilty of it as well. You sometimes don't appreciate, not just centre forwards, but players coming to the club. It does take them a little bit of time to settle, different environment, different country, different language, all these things, everything. And sometimes we don't take that into play.
I think he starts next game. Crystal Palace at home. They play a three at the back. You sort of need a vocal point, don't you, against three centre halves.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect game for him to start. He deserves it, doesn't he? At some point, you have to. I know, obviously, he's been very positive coming off the bench, and that's where we've seen the goals from him this season. But yeah, like we say, at some point, you have to give him.
Do you know what you can see?
Reward.
Oliver, do you know what you can see? I think the confidence is coming back, flowing through his game. That goal that he scored at West Ham was out of this world. Man. Out of this world.
The finish was good as
of course it was. The finish last night was one of a composed striker with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of another striker with a lot of confidence, because Victor Gyökeres on the back page of the Star and the Sun, fiery meeting brought Gunners closer. We're going to do a little bit on Andy Goldstein versus Martin Keown in my next section.
I've missed all that.
No.
I missed it all.
Don't worry. I've got this covered, but not yet, Gabby. Not yet.
At 6:40 all over again.
At 6.
What's that?
I'll tell you what.
I've got to be honest, it's a kind of lightweight bout though, isn't it? I mean, it's a kind of flyweight bout that.
6:45, we're going to cover Goldstein versus Keown.
We don't like beef in talkSPORT.
We don't like beef in talkSPORT, but there is certainly a bit of beef going on.
Dear.
But they were talking about a meeting that they had, a brutally honest meeting ahead of their North London derby win. They had a frank exchange of views, but it had the desired effect. You don't mind stuff like that, do you, Gabby? Them all coming together and have a bit of a meeting?
We spoke about it after the Wolves game. We says, me and Alan, that if they had anything about them, the manager's not involved, lock every player in the change room and say, listen, they're going to be calling us bottle jobs, they're going to be laughing at us, they're going to be saying we can't do it. Are we going to win the title? Are we going to stick together? Are we going to battle? And did they do that? Yes, they did. I thought Gyökeres was very good. But what I will say is, me and Ali would look very good against Dragosan. I'm not being funny, but he's a terrible defender. And Gyökeres, holding the ball up well, took his goals very well. But can we see it week in, week out now?
That's exactly when you look at the calibre of teams he scored against, and listen, the North London derby was way bigger than we all thought because of what happened against Wolves. However, in isolation, Spurs are 17th in the table for a reason, right? And the teams he scored against are Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland, Spurs. I now want to see it in the Manchester City game in April. I want to see it in the League Cup final in March. I don't want to see it against Chelsea on the weekend.
Everybody calm down, right? What are they with him no scoring goals? He's now started scoring goals. We're not happy with him scoring goals. We want him to score goals against better teams. Is that where we are?
Do you not think that's
I think he's doing absolutely fine. I think
he is, but
Dragosan, no, come on.
No, I'm with you. A minute ago, I've got the stats. I think his goal scoring ratio so far is more than acceptable. Gyökeres,
but I want to see that.
And he's a bit like Sesko. I think there's improvement in him. I think he'll continue to improve. And I don't think he'll start every game with Arteta.
I just want to see Ali. I want to see it against a Man City, against a Villa.
Yes.
Against Manchester.
Yes, I take your point.
Brentford.
I do take your point.
Not just the teams.
But at this moment in time, he's doing okay.
Yeah. And I thought that was his best performance. In
Without doubt. Without doubt.
I even thought from the first moment, the chance he had where he it just went past the far post, but I don't know, just the way he struck that.
Do you know what I thought, Olivia? I just thought his goals aside, I just thought generally his movement and his game intelligence was a lot better.
Yeah,
I did.
Let's not talk about Spurs, though. Whoa.
No, we won't talk about you. You two can talk about Spurs.
Yeah, me having a struggle. Right, we're going to go to a break. Do you have one more for us?
I was just going to touch on the story in the Times. Lindsay Vonn, obviously, we all know what happened at the Winter Olympics. She said
How is she?
So she's out of hospital now, recovering in a wheelchair.
That was agony to watch, by the way. I watched it.
The screen.
I watched it sitting on my couch with a cup of tea on a Sunday morning. It was horrific.
So she said she faced leg amputation. She said she almost lost her left leg as a consequence of that, and she obviously credits the surgeon that basically stopped her leg from being amputated. Wow. But she says she's good. She said it's obviously the worst pain and the worst injury she's ever experienced in her career. But she's doing well, and we wish her well in her recovery.
We absolutely do. Yes. Thanks for that, 11 at 6:29. We're going to take a quick break.
I don't see too many games where they're going to win.
They're picking up points in those matches against teams around them.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to.
Well, I think the yardstick for the new manager, what you're seeing now is what Tottenham Hotspur really is. By the way, it's the real ownership. This is the real ownership. This is what Levy's been blamed for, and what Levy's taken the rap for, and what Levy's taken the consequence for. Is the real ownership of Tottenham Hotspur, the Lewis family. What you're seeing is the real ownership of Tottenham Hotspur. And if you want to change the culture of the football club, change the real ownership, because the real ownership is Lewis and his gang. If you wanted to be successful in this league, and one of the comparisons that was probably a poor comparison with the Wenger situation, Wenger was never in a relegation battle, so he never had to worry about the reality of the fact he was prepared to acquiesce to the demands of the ownership that built a new stadium. Spurs are in a relegation battle, and the fact they bought nobody in January tells you where their ambition is. They bought, because that is a clear indication they needed some support. They needed a change of personnel in the dressing room, and they bought nobody. That tells you what the ownership model is and what it isn't. But when you look again at to answer your question about where Spurs get relegated, if they lose to Fulham and Palace, they are in real mortal danger.
Okay, well, look, it's going to be a massive couple of weeks in terms of Tottenham Hotspur and for West Ham United as well, whose next 5 fixtures include games against Manchester City, Aston Villa.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Okay, guys, 6:35.
What's going on?
There's a lot of messages coming in.
No. What have I done now?
About Punch the Monkey.
What are they saying?
Well, I can't read them out, to be quite frank with you. There's one from Rick. Rick, I'm with you. It's brilliant, but if I read it out, I'll lose my job within about 30 seconds, mate. Okay. Rick's wanting Punch the Monkey's name changed to something else. Right, Rick, come on. We're trying to be serious here, mate. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally, Gabby and Arnold Clark. Our good friends at Arnold Clark, with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will, without any doubt, have the car for you. Now, This was interesting, Gabby. What a great wee story this was. The boxing world was less stunned over the weekend. The star boxer Conor Benn announced he's leaving Matchroom Sports after 10 years to join Zuffa Boxing. It's safe to say it hasn't gone down well with Matchroom Sports. Founder Barry Hearn, who was in top form yesterday, joined us on the show and he called Benn classless.
It's a classless way of doing it when you've got an open relationship, and you have to bear in mind a lot of it was on talkSPORT, by the way. We took a lot of bullets over this. We took a lot of stick, our company reputation, our personal reputation, where we went to a guy that had failed a drugs test twice and said, no, we believe in him. So we stood our corner, as I would always expect Matchroom to do. We got very high standards.
Yeah.
But those standards have not been reciprocated, and that's deeply upsetting. Because it is on a personal basis. You can't take it out of it. We love the kid. We've been with him from day one. Tony Sims is the trainer. The team attitude is great. And we were going to, obviously with the last Eubank fight, we couldn't have been in a better position. It's sad to think that Conor went off to America just to solicit offers and got a huge one. And by the way, good luck to him to get the money. But you don't disband a team. Even if you do, you don't do it by text or by a lawyer.
What do you think?
Wow. When I saw it on my Twitter, I was like, pardon?
I know.
Is it like a joint venture he's doing with both Matchroom and them Dana White? But for me, Ali, it's a life lesson to us all in the sense of what people will do for money. There is no loyalty with some people in this world. After all Eddie Hearn done for him, lent him money, stayed with him, come on here and argued ferociously with Simon Jordan, backing his fighter.
Yep.
And he's been there for you through your lowest moments. And you've just, I can't really repeat what I would love to say.
Do you know what I think, Gab? Right, I actually have less of a problem about him doing it for the money than I have about the way he did it.
Yeah.
Right. I think if he's going to go for the money, and he clearly is, and that's his decision, right? We might not agree with it, but you can respect it to a certain degree. But what I can't accept is the way he did it, and never, was it by email or lawyer's letter or whatever it was.
Isn't it?
Imagine those guys, they've had your back like no idea. They've put themselves up for criticism. Surely they deserve a cup of tea. And even a phone call, whatever it may be, they must deserve a face-to-face meeting. That's what men do.
But as well, Ali, this isn't a case of like Matchroom aren't one of the biggest promotion companies in the world. Like, you're with Eddie Hearn, he's been there for you, and I think Eddie Hearn could learn a lot from this. And I feel sorry for Eddie Hearn's other fighters, because if I'm Eddie Hearn now, I'm not getting close to a fighter again. I'm going to be a bit cold. I'm going to have more of a business head on my shoulders.
Well, I hope not. I actually hope
That's
not.
how I would feel. Like,
yeah, I know, I get it, but
could I get hurt again?
Listen, we know it's a ruthless game. We're not being naive here in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if it was Barry come on and told us that the late great Mickey Duff said, if you're looking for loyalty in boxing, get a dog, right? And I get it, and it's probably the case. But at the same time, I would be disappointed if it did alter Barry and Eddie in particular's attitude towards looking after their own, because they have to. I don't care when they say.
Or maybe you learned from, okay, even though you feel like you've done a lot for a fighter and you feel like their family, get the contract signed.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they'll learn from it now. Like, no matter how close
it's down
to a fight,
until it's down.
A fighter, get the contract signed. But Ali, I know you're the same as me, big on loyalty, and I just feel that like Conor Benn maybe get his karma in the future, but you don't do that move to someone like Eddie Hearn, who's been there for you, backed your corner no matter what. I just didn't like it, mate, at all. And if I'm Eddie Hearn now, I've got a different approach maybe to some of my fighters.
I mean, I'm trying to put myself in Conor Benn's shoes, Gabby, and I'm thinking, right, I've been offered this deal, done away, I get it, a lot of money, I can't knock it back. But the first thing you do is you either pick up the phone and say, Eddie, look, I've got a decision to make here. Can we meet? Can we have a cup of coffee?
In person?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Can you match it? Is this the best thing for me? I know all the fighters that I'm going to fight maybe are in America. The big fights for Conor Benn are over there, not over here. So this is why I want to go with this promoter, because maybe better chance of getting these fights over the line. Have a sit-down convo with him, and to say Eddie Hearn said, yeah, I tried to get a phone call and he wouldn't speak to me on the phone.
Let himself down, mate, for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I lost a lot of fans in this country.
Fans, yes.
Yes.
I think there's any doubt about that. Okay, on to last night again. We're talking about Everton losing 1-0 to Manchester United. We're going to take a call. Taka's a Manchester United fan. Taka, very good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Taka.
Good morning, gentlemen. First and foremost, great show. Just to go on the side note, it's so disappointing what Ben has done. I think that as much as we say sport is not just a business, I think sport is also family. People do a lot of things for people in dark times, and it's unfortunate that certain people think that, people are loyal, but they're not. And it's quite unfortunate. And this is a great lesson to all of us, I guess, in life. Coming back to the topic. So,
do you know something, Chaka? Before we go on to United, I take your point totally. But surely, as much as a blow as it is for us all, not seeing that loyalty, we can't let it affect us. We have to continue to show loyalty, surely.
That's very correct, Ali. But unfortunately, there's a few of us who think like that, you see, because whenever anybody in this world sees the pound sign, the dollar sign, that's what they think first, before morals, before loyalty. Unfortunately, we all do that in our own funny way. There's a little boy in us who says, let's get the money, and they're manning us and saying, oh, wait a second, guys, this guy or this family or this group, this company has been with us all the way. We see this in football all the time. The player will get pelted for leaving the club, but the club never gets pelted for just letting the player like that.
I think what Eddie Hearn will probably do now is, no matter what relationship I've got with a fighter, how nice they are, how loyal, sign the contract. Sign. If it's a 3-year, 4-year, 5-year deal, sign it. I don't care anymore.
Yes, I think that's where Matchroom kind of made the error a bit, because they took too personal to say this is a family, this is a brother, but they forgot the business side of it. But this is life. Talking about sports, I personally think that yesterday Michael Carrick was starting to get found out. United have got a long way to go. Yes, I think we will qualify for the Champions League, but I don't think we'll be title contenders, simply because we cannot rely on just teams attacking us and then hitting fast break all the time.
Unbeaten in 6, 5 wins, 1 draw, 12 goals scored, 3 clean sheets.
I understand that, and I love it because it's my team. But when you play a full season, you have to be able to break down teams with a low block. We failed until a fast break because they were attacking us. It was a horrible game, and I agree with you. Very boring, but you can't get exciting games all the time. But as a team that's only playing one game a week, we should have shown more energy, more flair, and at least attacked a bit more. And this is the thing about big teams where I think, as much as I love Carrick and what he's done so far, on a long-term basis, a long-term contract, the fans will turn against him very quickly.
But surely, Taka, you're not going to turn overnight. You're not going to switch overnight from being a poor United team to a team that's going to win the league. So surely you must be pleased with the natural progression of your team.
Most definitely. I think if we get proper defensive midfielder and maybe another creative midfielder just to, spray the balls along with Bruno if Bruno's still around.
Only team unbeaten in the Premier League in 2026.
Fair enough, and I'm so happy with that. However, this is Manchester United playing one game a week. Let's not forget that, guys. So imagine if we're playing 2 games or even 3 games.
I'll be scared if you was my boss at work. I'll be in big trouble, mate.
Taka, you're a hard taskmaster, mate. I'll tell you what.
Imagine the Christmas bonus.
No Christmas bonus for Taka, I tell you. Taka, thank you very much for your call, my friend. Enjoy your day. Take care, mate.
You made me 100 million, not 200 for my company.
You're not getting any Christmas bonus for Taka there, man. Boy, is he hardly pleased.
Ali, can I quickly say something as well? I know we've got a break, but when I was a footballer, right, when I was playing, my agent signed me up when I was 18, right? Was with him for my whole career. Financial advisor as well, because he had a background in banking.
Yep.
Mid part of my career, an agent got in touch with me offered me hundreds of thousands of pounds to sign with him. Wasn't even a conversation.
Yeah.
That's loyalty.
Of course.
Wasn't even a conversation. It's like,
that's...
pardon? No, with this agent here, he's like a friend now.
Correct.
That's what Eddie Hearn would have felt. Conor Benn's like a friend, a family member. And that's what would have hurt him. Like, sometimes, forget the money. What's your agent made you? What's Eddie Hearn made you in the Eubank fights? 20 million?
I would make a statement just now, and probably half of listeners might agree, half of listeners might not. I don't think it's the money at all that would upset Eddie Hearn with what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's the lack of loyalty.
Oh, loyalty?
Yeah. He's not going to moan the money with disappointment, but it's not the be all and end.
Eubank Junior's had some fun, by the way. He's enjoyed it.
I bet he has. Okay, we've got not one. I've got a bigger pun. I've got to go a link. Still to come this breakfast. Sorry, Ed.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
Okay, here we go. A quick read at this. This is going to be a mouthful, Gav. Wish me all the best. Not one but two Team GB winter medalists will be right here in the studio. Zoe Atkin, who won bronze in the half pipe, and Tabby Stoker, who took gold in the mixed team skeleton. I watched that. That was absolutely ridiculous. Don't miss it. And football finance expert Keown Maguire's going to be joining us, and he'll be explaining the effect relegation would have on Tottenham. That, guys, was our breakfast preview with a wonderful Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
Darren, good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, Darren.
Good morning. Not bad, yourself?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for taking the time to call us. What did you think yesterday? What's your views?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a bit of karma for Tottenham, isn't it? Going off for the back of what they did last season, the fans-wise, the mentality, we'd rather lose a game so Arsenal don't win the league, so looks like they'll be in a relegation battle now, and it's come back to haunt them.
You must be pleased with a lot of the performances yesterday. Gyökeres, it's still a little bit of a doubt in people's minds because obviously they've spent a lot of money and he's had in different games at times, but he was brilliant yesterday. Best performance with an Arsenal shirt on, definitely.
At the end of the day, he holds up the play well. You know what I mean? He brings other players into action and all that. And Arsenal lately, well, they're a team scoring team. You know what I mean? End of the day, it's not an individual. They can score goals from anywhere, but yeah, it's going to favour. There's plenty of points to play for. We're up against Man City at the end of the day. You know what the score is to them. It's going to be down to the last two games, 2 or 3 games. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a marathon in this league now. It's not a sprint.
Brilliant, Dan. Thanks for your call, pal. I'm going to move on. Thank you very much for taking the time to call us. We've got Paul. Paul's a Spurs fan. Maybe not just as happy this morning, Paul.
No, mate, I've got disgrace really from our team. I wanted to phone up and talk about. No one seems to be talking about it. The foul by Kolo Muani on Gabriel yesterday.
Yes.
Shocking decision.
Okay, 6:51. Just a quick one here, Gab. This is an interesting one. Where is it? I had it a minute right in front of me. Yeah, I've lost it again. Okay.
Pickford was it?
Aye, it's an interesting one. Agent 125 was on. Simon from Warrington, Agent 125. He's not happy with Pickford for the goal. Simon, come on. He said he should have been sprinting out to either intercept or shut the angle doing for Mbuemo squaring the pass.
Wow.
Come on, Simon. Agent 125.
It's attacker.
Come on, Simon. Harsh. That's harsh, mate.
Yeah. Pickford done amazing during the game. Some of the saves he made.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. As you can hear, Ally and Gabby with this morning. And so is Olivia. Olivia, what have you got for us?
Right.
Any more?
Good morning, Olivia.
No more punch the
Any more
monkey.
zoological?
No more punch the monkey. But we're talking boxing.
Yes.
We're talking round one of Marty and Keown versus Andy Goldstein. I cannot believe, Ali.
That's when it's finishing.
But who's winning?
Oh, come on.
Oh, shall we find out? This is what Martin Keown, this was his opening round. This is how he started it. Let's have a listen.
After one result, it was very interesting. The likes of Goldstein and people on these channels, other channels, diving in, ridiculing, loving it when other people don't do well. That's too far.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
That's not true. I mean,
100%
that's not true. I'm not going to defend Andy Goldstein because it's not in my interest or I have any.
Andy, play this later. But if you want to be a good presenter and you want to go to the next level, don't take fun from other people losing their demise.
I'm not sure you need to lecture people about how they conduct themselves, Martin.
Right.
Calm down, Martin.
So that was Martin Keown saying, don't have fun at someone else's downfall.
Yes.
Now, the king of having fun at someone else's downfall.
That's what football fans do, by the way, right? Just get that out there.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone does it against every team.
And
it's
also,
not
do you know
just
something?
Arsenal.
I know football fans, right, who take more pleasure out of their rivals getting beat than their own team winning.
100%, because also sometimes your team you support a team that doesn't win a lot.
And
so,
as
you know,
well,
when
Olivia,
other teams lose, you've got to take joy in it.
And as well, different shows on talkSPORT are different for different people.
Exactly.
I've done a lot of drive shows where they want more fun. They want like you having a laugh, especially on breakfast as well. White and Jordan's more serious, but geez, Martin.
Okay, let's have a look. How good was Andy Goldstein's response?
All right, let's hear it.
Firstly, Keown, it's Mr. Goldstein to you. Moaning. Martin Keown moaning like he's been bitten on the backside by Win the Dog. Let me just remind you, Martin Keown, Arsenal just beat the worst Spurs team ever, and you're screaming about it. A few days ago, you drew with bottom place Wolves. And the so-called invincible Martin Keown, by the way, started just 3 games that season, 2 more than David Bentley, so calm down, starts crying like a tiny baby version of Kevin Keegan. Just because I joked his team, who do have a history, by the way, of bottling it again and again and again, could bottle it again. Well, you heard from that clip at the beginning that Martin gave me some advice. He actually said, if you want to be a good presenter, don't take the fun out of other people's demise. Well, my advice to you, Martin Keown, or Keown, is if you want to be a good, decent pundit in the 10 minutes a week you have on the White and Jordan show, get yourself a sense of humour, lighten up, and apologise to me when you finish second again.
10 minutes on White and Jordan.
God. Ali, over to you. I can't believe you haven't heard
That's the
this.
first time I've heard that. I tell you what, I can guarantee you, there'll be no apology coming on Goldstein's way. That's the first thing I'd say to you. What's the first thing I would say to you? There's absolutely no chance of an apology coming on Goldstein's way.
If management Max said anything about him, you'd have Martin Keown doing an hour on drive.
Do you think there's a case?
Wouldn't you?
Do you think there's a case we need to get the two of them again or sit down?
I don't think.
Yeah, do drive.
Aye. Well,
I think Martin.
we can't have this manifesting through the company in the dressing room.
Negative, isn't it?
See, the
It would make
talkSPORT
great
dressing room.
radio.
The most important thing's the talkSPORT dressing room.
Keeping the
But
peace.
we'll have to have harmony.
And
Yeah,
Ali, we don't
unity.
want to have to choose sides. I mean, I would choose Andy Goldstein's side,
Obviously
but I
you
don't
would.
want to have to choose sides.
It sounds like you've just chosen a side.
It took me long
Gabby.
to choose. But Martin Keown was very serious and very angry when you see the actual clip. He wasn't laughing, so I don't think he'd be laughing at Andy's response.
But why
I
is
think
he
it
so
carries on.
angry? Why
Is it
is
Arsenal fans in general, though?
I think the problem here
Do you know something?
is Arsenal fans. I think
They're all getting a bit nervy. Like I said to you before, you go to the Emirates, you can feel it. You can feel the nerves. You can feel the atmosphere. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, and it would not surprise. I know Wolves is a poor one from away from home. I think in many ways some of them are better play away from home.
Maybe Martin.
Because I don't care. It manifests it, and it goes onto the pitch. It transmits the nervousness transmits onto the pitch.
I think Martin.
It would not surprise me if Arsenal between now and the end of the season better performances are away from
100%. Maybe Martin can produce Drive as a show.
Oh yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be loads of fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that'd be.
I don't think we've heard the last of this.
I don't think we have. I'm quite excited to see Martin Keown's response, but I don't agree that there's a media agenda against Arsenal. No. I think that Arsenal fans haven't helped themselves with the way that they've acted over the last 7 years since Mikel Arteta's been in charge. They've acted like they've won the same amount of trophies as Manchester City when they haven't. And this is the problem. If you come second 3 times in a row, and this season was the season that Arsenal, to me, they should be double digits clear by now.
Yes.
The way that they've played and the difference between Arsenal and City, this season, I believe that Arsenal should be way clearer than they are.
I'll tell you what, I think Arsenal at this moment in time are having a fantastic season. I think they've had one really poor result, and that was at Wolves when they're 2-0 up. I don't necessarily think a draw at Brentford's a disaster, because Brentford at that point, I know result. Brighton had a good result at the weekend. That's been okay. They get beat by a wonder goal at Liverpool. Soboslai's free kick. They beat by a very, very good Manchester United team. The performances in the Champions League have been excellent, right? So I don't think they've done an awful lot wrong up to this point, but it now is the serious end of the league and the cups, and it's business time.
Yeah.
And whether they can go over the line will remain to be seen. I think they will, but as it happens,
everyone will give Arsenal their flowers. If they get over the line and they win the Premier League, a lot of people's opinions of Arsenal will have to turn. You don't have a choice.
I tell you, I would say to you, and this is a kind of outsider looking in, right, who hasn't got a real team in this whole thing. I can really detect from everyone that's not Arsenal a real bitterness against Arsenal.
Really?
I can. It's unbelievable. I'm not minding, by the way, it's part and parcel of football. Before we get any further, I'm not complaining. I'm only making an observation from a Scotsman.
Why do you? Okay, so I'm saying I think
what is
it's
it?
to do with Arsenal.
Is there an arrogance amongst the fans? Is it the team? What is it?
They're unbearable.
Unbearable, yeah.
Especially on social media, unbearable. Look at Piers Morgan. He's unbearable.
We've got an Arsenal fan in there.
Henry is exactly the person I'm talking about, actually. When I say this, I'm actually, it's aimed at Henry.
I'm getting him in the studio.
But the way Martin's comments, Martin Keown's like, being nasty about my team. Don't do that, Andy. You can't do that on your show. People finishing work 4 till 7 p.m. want to have a laugh. They don't want an intense debate. They want to have a good bit of fun.
Brilliant. I need to go to the news. I've got to shout at me. I need to go to the news. Great. So, it's not finished.
We're awaiting Keown's response.
Yeah, that saga that will be ongoing.
10 minutes you get on White and Jordan. That's so rude.
Tough line.
Can't come for Andy Goldstein.
Edwin van der Sar was full of praise on TV, I beg your pardon, last night for Lamans, who we incidentally think he's been excellent, the goalkeeper. We'll ask next whether they're finally, after all this time, getting the recruitment right. Thanks, Olivia.
Michael Carrick, unbeaten so far. A trip to Merseyside. They've enjoyed a bit of a new lease of life under Michael Carrick, haven't they? Got 5 games unbeaten at the helm. The only team yet to be defeated in the Premier League this year. And no side has claimed more points in 2026 than Manchester United's 15. But they do go to Everton. And it hasn't been a great start at the Hill Dickinson yet. They haven't quite bed in there yet. Michael Carrick, though, has been speaking pre-match, and he's looking forward to the trip.
Going away to Everton, I know it's a new stadium, but historically it's always been tough. It's always been the atmosphere and the supporters that they create. I think it's always been one of the toughest ones that I've played away from home, so we're aware with that. And then trying to be our best way we can. I think we've got things to improve on, but we've got a good base and a good foundation moving forward. Good spirit. So we'll have to draw on pretty much all of that.
That was Michael Carrick speaking ahead of the game, and it'd be fascinating to see how they approach it, Martin, because it is traditionally a difficult place to go, but Manchester United always seem to do well away at Everton.
They do. It's a fixture that they like traditionally. Just interesting the job that Carrick's done since he's taken over. Mainu particularly has come in and just torn up that midfield, was deemed not good enough by the previous manager.
Well, they didn't have the ability to get an extra midfield player in because they were playing three at the back, did they? So he was sort of almost sacrificed for that.
Because of this obsession with playing in a way that players were never really going to take on board. And since he's changed it to a 4-3-3, they look like it's seamless. Everybody looks comfortable. And they've had some incredible results, no doubt about it.
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These two boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pittodrie on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
7:30, Tuesday, the 24th of February. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Our good friends at Arnold Clark browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Gabby with you this morning, and we have got a show for you. Let me tell you, relegation concerns now more than just a possibility for Spurs. We'll be joined by football finance expert Kieran Maguire, who will lay out the financial implications for Tottenham if they are to go down. I've got it no other, can't dress up other than a disaster if that happens. And Gabby will finally get his hands on an Olympic medal as gold medal winner Tabby Stoker and bronze medal winner Zoe Atkin will be right here in the studio. Cannot wait for that. Massive congratulations to Team GB. It's just brilliant. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. But now, Michael Carrick made it 5 wins from 6 as Manchester United boss last night in talkSPORT. Not good enough for Taki, though, was it? Earlier on, he was not happy. Summer signings. I beg your pardon, summer signing goalkeeper Lamens handled everything Everton threw at him and was asked whether this felt like a significant win.
I think so, yeah. I think maybe on paper those bigger teams are more important or look more impressive, but coming here, also the fact we had 2 weeks with no game, it also feels a little bit rusty, like I said, like in the first half a little bit, where we had to be better. But yeah, just for me personally, as a goalkeeper and as a defense, when you can keep the 0 in that kind of game and still win it in the end, it feels that much better.
He's made some difference, I tell you that. He really, really has. United's other 3 summer signings all combined for the winner last night. Sesko 74 million, Bueno 71 million, and Cunha 62.5 million. Lamens cost 18 million. Now, to give us more, we're going to talk further about this. Manchester United Sun correspondent Sam Luckhurst is with us. Sam, a very good morning. Thanks for joining us. How are you, first of all, Sam?
Good morning, gents. Very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
It's a pleasure, and thanks very much for taking the time to join us. We've said all along, Sam, that how important recruitment is. It's absolutely vital in any team, no matter what your position, no matter what league you're playing in. But it certainly looks, mate, as though United are finally getting it right.
Yes, certainly with the 4 signings that came in the summer, each of them have made a pretty big impact. In the case of Lomans, it was interesting that Michael Carrick, who's quite coy and still quite caged with what he said last night that there's no chaos with Lomans. Now, a lot of people might see that as, might interpret that as a reference to the goalkeeper who came before him, and whether they do or they don't, there's something in it, because unfortunately Andre Onana made so many mistakes, and also he was someone who wanted to be noticed. I remember going to a game at Fulham last season. He was on the halfway line trying to advise on a free kick. United had 20 or 30 yards ahead of him. And Gary Neville said several years ago as well, if a goalkeeper wants to be noticed, that always worried him. With Lomans, he's very unfussy. There are no frills with him. What's interesting watching him is that he makes saves that a good goalkeeper, any goalkeeper worth his salt, should make, but it's how dependable he is, and particularly with the corners last night. I mean, Kobe Mainu on Instagram likened it to a WWE style Royal Rumble, I think it was. It was really, really difficult for him. We saw how David De Gea struggled in his first months at Manchester United from set pieces in particular, but nothing seems to faze Lomans, and time will tell whether he's good enough to be a title challenging goalkeeper for Manchester United. But so far, his first 4 months have been very encouraging for them.
Samuel, I want to ask you about Manchester United's future in the summer. If they do get top 5, which will be Champions League, I think, because of how good the English clubs are doing in Europe, their summer transfers have been fantastic, haven't they? Mbeumo, Sesko, Cunha and Lamens. It's going to allow them again to spend on positions, maybe defensive midfielder and defence, and really, really get Manchester United back in touching distance with an Arsenal and Man City.
Indeed, the midfield will be the priority. They felt in the summer that they had enough positions to cover that area this season. I suspect a lot of fans at that time were quite sceptical of that, but ultimately, where they've got such a sparse schedule, they've so far got through it relatively unscathed. I mean, Casemiro has had a good season, but one of the reasons why he's had a good season is because it's pretty much just one game a week. He still often struggles to complete 90 minutes. But he is having a bit of a last hurrah with United. They will go all out for a major midfielder in the summer. I imagine they'll end up having to sign 2 central midfielders just because of how sparse they are in that area. And if they're going to be in Europe next season, which, let's face it, barring a scenario similar to when United won the FA Cup a couple of years ago and booted Newcastle out of Europe. They will be in a European competition one way or another. So that's going to be pretty much 8 more games or 10 more games. And beyond that, they obviously were in for Antoine Semenyo very briefly. I think left wing is somewhere where they do need to improve. A couple of years ago, they had a plethora of left wingers. Now they've not really got any. I know they've still got a couple on the books, and Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford, but they are very much yesterday's news. And certainly the squad harmony, for all of Ruben Amorim's flaws, and there were a lot of them, he did prioritise squad harmony and not allowing Jadon Sancho back into the fold. Keeping Marcus Rashford at arm's length and selling Alejandro Garnacho has had a benefit for United this season.
So I'm just looking at it. I mean, Kobe back in the side, I think he made a big difference as well. But look at the front four: Cunha, Fernandes, Dallin, Wright, and Buemo. You know, that's certainly as good as anything you're going to get in the league. Has it surprised you just how quickly things have turned around under Michael? I mean, clearly I understand it, and I know there's a long way to go. But I tell you what, it looks as though they've certainly turned the corner and pushing in the right direction a lot quicker than even I thought they would.
His record, obviously, as a caretaker there a few years ago was pretty good, albeit a very brief time. But looking at the game last night, it was a pretty drab game to watch. And a cynic might say that United's performance level under Carrick has actually gradually dipped. And it was interesting that Carrick all but acknowledged that after the game. But ultimately, they've got 16 points from possible 18. They've beaten the top 2. The 5 wins that they've had have all been very different wins, which I think is very, very important. That it shows that he can add a string to his bow. Under Amorim, it felt like United would only win one way, and that was primarily because the system almost always never changed. But really, it was a bit of an open goal for whoever went in there, and that all you had to do was go to a back four, put Kobbie Mainoo in midfield. Carrick was somewhat fortunate that the timing of his appointment coincided with Ahmad and Mbeumo coming back from AFCON, which absolutely did hit Amorim in his final weeks in charge, because United just had such a shortage of forwards, with Bruno Fernandes being injured as well. So the stars do seem to have aligned, and going off the form, going off the fact that there's not an obvious external candidate for that role at the time being, and with the complication of the World Cup this summer, where I think it's the latest World Cup final since 1966, which of course is going to have a knock-on effect on clubs' pre-season plans. To keep someone who potentially could have been in the building for 4 months and got them back into the Champions League, there is going to be a lot of logic behind retaining him in a permanent capacity at this rate.
I'm just wondering if your head making me shaking my shoes, Sam. That sounded very much like an omen or a prediction of that 1966. And on that terrifying note, Sam, we'll let you go, and thanks very much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks, chaps. Thank you.
Now, if you can't get enough of Manchester United's Champions League hunt, then you can catch up on all the fallout from last night's action with Angelina Kelly and Flex in the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast, available on all podcast platforms. I'm going to go for that again, right? There's too many P's on it. All right. Wish me all the best. Available now on all podcast platforms.
Smashed it.
Up next, we'll hear from a Chelsea fan who has the answer as to why Arsenal are so hated by so many.
Let's talk about Oliver Glazner. Yesterday, the Palace fans, who are putting up with a bit of a poor run of form, just 2 wins in 16. Their patience seems to be wearing thin. Sacked in the morning. Chance came when I was in Mostar with them on Thursday night. They were not happy with Oliver Glazner yesterday. They held up a banner claiming that he is finished at the weekend. This is what he said during the week. He said, they can say and sing whatever they want. I know what I am doing. I would say the most important thing is stay humble. I think it's the same for the fans. Stay humble. Never forget where you're coming from. I think a few who are so critical in this situation are not humble anymore. Forget where you are coming from, and usually in life you are punished for this. I mean, has a manager ever been as blatant about wanting to get sacked and leave the club with a payoff as Oliver Glazner? And if you were the...
Is that what you think?
Okay, 7:18, 24th of February, Tuesday. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. I'm going to talk about Arsenal and whether there's an agenda and a widespread will for them to fail, as Martin Keown suggested. Russell's a Chelsea fan. He's given us a call. Russell, good morning. Thanks for calling. How are you?
Russell.
Oh, good morning, Gaz. Good morning, Ali. It's great to get on the show. I try quite a lot of times to get on here, but it's sometimes hard with my job as a coach driver.
Well, much appreciate you getting on, mate. What are you thinking? What have you got to say, my friend?
Well, yeah, obviously I listened to the conversation yesterday of what in Jordan. I didn't hear the response until this morning because obviously I was, I think, in bed by the time Goldstein was talking. But it don't surprise me that it's banter. Keown needs to chill out. Arsenal are a great team. They are doing well. I've got to give it to them, even though I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm a rival. But they have a lot of arrogance. When they're winning stuff, when they're doing this, that and the other, they give it all the big one. But then when things go wrong and people start taking the mick or whatever, they get really defensive and up on themselves. And, they keep saying they're the best team in London. Well, I think on recent experiences, as a Chelsea fan, I can say, how can you claim to be the best team in London when you haven't even won the Champions League yet? Yeah, we've won more European trophies than they have. And to be the greatest team in London and in England, you've got to have those trophies behind you, and Arsenal haven't done that.
Got to win the Champions League.
Yeah, they do keep bottling it. Unfortunately, they do slightly deserve that name because 3 times in a row they've come second, and it is the thing they don't like. They are the best team this season, but realistically, like Gallagher said a few weeks ago, that this team probably wouldn't get in the top 10 Arsenal teams. And the reason why is other teams around it, including even Chelsea, but speaking more of Man City and Liverpool, they've been having bad results, and that has helped Arsenal be where they are. They drew with Wolves recently. Don't forget, they only beat them 2-1 the previous game, and 2 of the goals was basically kind of own goals deflections anyway. And then Tottenham, yeah, I want to be respectful, but at the end of the day, I don't know
We
what's
need an
going
Arsenal
on
fan
with them.
answer. Ali, we need an Arsenal fan answer.
Russell, you're pummeling everybody at the moment. What about Brentford? You might as well finish them off, mate.
Well, no, listen, Brentford are doing great. Great surprise, to be honest, and a breath of fresh air. It's always nice to see a team unexpected to do what they do, like Leicester did in 2016. I absolutely loved it. Even as a Chelsea fan, I love football and things like that. I do enjoy them.
Russell.
I even enjoyed Man City's win with Aguero's last-minute goal. That was a great thing.
Russell, Olivia's just nodding here and smiling like a proud mother.
Russell,
I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything.
Thanks for your call, Russell. We've got to move on. Appreciate you taking the time to call us. We've got Gabby, believe it or not, on the line. He's an Arsenal fan.
Not this
Gabby.
Ali. Sir Ali, and my brother Gabby.
Hello, brother.
I'm loving the Twitter in the minute, mate. You are eating some humble pie, my brother. Ali, you want to see his tweets, mate? Listen, it's like this Chelsea fan calling up. I'm sorry, but was it 4 trophies in 90 years for Chelsea before oil money come along and everything got bought? I mean,
It's not our money.
How can you... Oil money, yeah.
Why do we care? I don't care.
But you won't care because you're too young, Olivia, darling.
I think you think I'm younger than I am, actually.
And the problem we have is, right, listen, my best mate is Chelsea, Lower Matthew Harding. I even go down and sometimes lend the support when they play Tottenham and Liverpool, right? Let's not get it twisted. I've got no hate towards Chelsea, but Chelsea, West Ham, Tottenham, they're all coming for Arsenal in a minute. And why are they coming? Because they've all got the green-eyed monster, and they're all worried that this big red bus might go and do a few trophies this season.
Listen, Gabby, quick question for you, mate. Are you a little bit concerned the big red bus is stalling a wee bit? I know you had a great result at the weekend, mate.
Ali, we just run out a bit of AdBlue like the coach driver. We were running low, mate. We put a bit of AdBlue in, mate. We're ready to roll in London and get all round the congestion zone and everything, my friend.
We'll see. We'll see you on Sunday.
Brilliant, Gab.
I'm there, Olivia.
I'm there as well. I'll see you there.
I'm there Sunday. My best friend's downstairs. Let's catch up and let's do a little something on TikTok.
I'll see you on Monday.
Gab, you make sure you've got the AdBlue in that bus anyway for the weekend, pal, okay? Brilliant.
Ciao, Ali. Big love.
Take care, mate. Brilliant.
He always phones up, mate.
That's magic.
Is that right, Gabby? I'm Gabby, yeah?
We just ran out of AdBlue. Olivia.
Right.
Where was we?
Yeah, where were we? Got caught up in that.
That was good.
We did round 1 of Keown versus Goldstein. We're waiting for round 2. What we are getting is a rematch of one of the best fights, I say best fights at the time, 2 of the biggest icons you will ever see in boxing, in Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao, September the 19th at the Las Vegas Sphere. Now, before I get your opinions on it and whether you think this is a good idea, obviously Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement at the age of 48, Manny Pacquiao is 47, talkSPORT boxing expert Adam Catterall has actually said he doesn't mind the idea.
When Floyd makes this announcement, I'm coming back into professional boxing, then you think to yourself, right, first of all, where are you at age-wise? Where are you at fitness-wise? Where are you at weight-wise? Who are you going to be competing with? And what are you going to be attempting to do, right? There's a lot of young killers out there in and around these weight divisions that Floyd used to frequent. I would imagine that he's going to be somewhere between 147 and 154. I would guess in and around that. But then when you start to say, well, it's going to be him and Manny Pacquiao. They're both as retired as each other. They're both as active as each other. It's got that nostalgia feel to it. I don't think I'd be too against that, to be fair.
So Adam Catterall was saying he doesn't really mind about seeing such an iconic fight happen again. Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao obviously happened in 2015. Floyd Mayweather won that fight via unanimous decision. I don't know about you two, but I much prefer something like this over Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. The thing is, though,
you still would rather see that than a YouTuber coming up against an actual fighter.
But just.
I don't. It's just
I want to remember Mayweather.
Yes.
The way he was, right? I want to remember Mike Tyson the way he was. I don't want to remember Mike Tyson getting into the ring with Jake Paul.
No.
You know, I saw Manny Pacquiao fight Eric Morales in Vegas, and it was unbelievable. What a fight it was! It was absolutely fantastic. Mayweather's one of the greatest ever to step into a ring. Right now, I bow to Adam Cattrall and Gareth and Spencer. I love them, and they're so informative, and I stand by it. We've got the best boxing team going, no doubt about it. And I'm going to totally contradict myself, because I'll watch it. Just to see out of curiosity.
I don't
but
mind.
I would rather they didn't.
Yeah, I don't think they need to do it, do they? You want retired fighters to retire, but Mayweather 48, Pacquiao 47. So what I don't mind is that they're similar age.
Yeah.
And like probably similar sort of like since they're retired, and
yeah,
it will be an even fight in that sense. It's not like Mayweather's fighting somebody who's 65. That's what I wouldn't like to see.
Mayweather's last fight was against Conor McGregor.
Yeah. 2017.
Do you know what I mean? 2017.
Yeah, I agree.
He's come out of retirement 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, they all like to do it, don't they? They like to come into retirement, go back out.
Listen, we all get it and we all know it. And as I said, I'll watch it. But, no, I mean, I just want to remember.
Don't need it, do you?
You don't need it.
I agree.
I wonder what... Obviously, okay, we know...
Manny Pacquiao won 12 world titles, man.
Yeah, so he came out of retirement last year to fight Mario Barrios in a fight that was a draw.
Yeah.
That was for the WBC welterweight title. We know it's for money, right? We know it's for money. Is there any other reason why they would be doing this?
Don't be fooled though on Mayweather. Mayweather loves it, Ali. I remember being on holiday in the summer.
They just can't let go.
I was going to say, is it that they?
I remember being on holiday in Miami, and like some of the guys over there were like, "Look, Mayweather. He'd been in the club, the nightclub, and at 4 a.m. he was in his boxing stuff to go out and train.
Jesus.
Didn't drink, just so like focused on his boxing, and like he's probably kept himself so fit and just loves boxing that much. Why not? Go and fight Pacquiao and go and earn big money again. Why not?
That's why he's got a perfect professional record of 50-0, and Manny Pacquiao wants it to be 50 with 1 defeat. But will it be?
And that's what I'm saying. That would make a massive difference. Why would you put that on the line when you've had an almost flawless...
The buzz.
He's had a
But Ali, the buzz have gone. You're retired. What you doing? You got all the money in the world. You're probably thinking like, I love boxing that much. I'm committed to my craft.
I know what you mean.
I'm fit. Why not?
It's like a drug to them, isn't it?
Yeah, Tyson Fury's will be the same. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, I know, mate.
Tyson Fury will come out of retirement another 10 times.
Yeah. Well, I know what Adam's saying, and I know Gareth and the boys, as I said, but...
Don't be like Martin Keown, Ali. You be Martin Keown.
I'm the biggest hypocrite of the lot. I don't want to see it, but I'll watch it.
Won't
I will watch it.
I didn't watch it.
So order it now.
September the 19th on Netflix if you fancy it.
I didn't watch Tyson.
I didn't watch Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. I didn't watch Jake Paul, AJ. And I probably won't watch Floyd Mayweather against Manny Pacquiao, but it is going to be the richest fight that the sport has ever seen.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Really?
Seriously?
It would become the richest
More than
fight.
AJ, Jake
It
Paul?
would become the richest fight the sport has ever seen, yeah.
Wow.
Interesting stuff, guys. Thank you very much, Olivia. Now, could Tottenham face financial oblivion if they're relegated to the Championship? We're going to ask someone in the know next. Nico O'Reilly's brace kept City in the title hunt with a 2-1 victory over Newcastle. Chelsea dropped points at home to Burnley. Excuse me. Liverpool strengthened their push for Champions League football thanks to a late controversial winner from Alexis McAllister. That was an interesting game. I thought when I only watched the highlights, I thought Forest actually played well.
Brilliant, yeah.
But there's only one place we can start as Arsenal made a title statement again in the North London derby, defeating Spurs 4-1. Incidentally, had 3-1 in McCown to restore their 5-point lead at the top of the table. Eze was Tottenham's tormentor again. He now has 7 goals in his last 4 games against Spurs since last May. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta said he stepped up another level last night.
I mean, he scored 5 goals in the last 2 games against them, which is extremely difficult to do. But I could see that he wanted to prove something. He was upset, even with me, because I didn't play him the other day from the beginning and some of the decisions that I made. And I started to understand how we're going to get the best out of him now.
Okay, Ray. Joker has also grabbed a brace, a setter, said it was his best game in a Gunner shirt since his summer arrival in Sporting Lisbon. I think that's a fair comment as well.
Over the last few years, Formula One has gone from elitist and insular to a global entertainment brand. The transformation's down to American investment group Liberty Media, who cultivated a new image for the sport since buying it in 2016. Better access to drivers, improved content on social media and tapping into the US market have given F1 a massive boost in both attention and revenues. But is everyone happy? The fans certainly are, as evidenced by Drive to Survive. Almost 7 million people per season have tuned in to get all the gossip and all the drama from the paddock. The extra exposure means the drivers can demand a higher salary too. In 2010, the top drivers were earning $20 million a year, which isn't bad. But now, the very best earned 3 times that, with Max Verstappen getting a whopping $65 million in 2025. But money doesn't always buy happiness. Some drivers, including Verstappen, don't like the pageantry the changes have brought about. In Las Vegas in 2023, Verstappen said the drivers were made to look like clowns, and the event was 99% performance and 1% race. Some purists who still watch the sport feel the same, and that the spirit of competition has suffered. But Formula One and Liberty Media don't look like slowing down anytime soon. So expect more races, major events and exclusive access in future.
Win a trip to Cheltenham, Alan Brazil style, on talkSPORT.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby and our good friends at Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you before going any further. Thanks very much for my coffee. Really,
anytime, mate.
Lovely, mate. Piping hot. It's got to be piping hot.
Absolutely.
Got to be. Just pH. Has to be.
Yes.
Now, fancy joining talkSPORT, the famous Cheltenham Festival for Gold Cup Day? Well, now is your chance. We are giving away the ultimate hospitality experience for 2 on Friday, March the 13th. Friday the 13th. Oh, dear me. You'll get the full day of VIP treatment, a 4-course lunch, a complimentary bar all day, celebrity tipsters and much more. It's the best way to experience the races, and you'll even get meet some of the talkSPORT team on site. You have until 4 p.m. this Friday to get your entries in. Here's how to do it. For your chance to win, text WIN to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. The lines close this Friday at 4 p.m. That's when, of course, you'll need to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a talkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So, for your chance to win, you know the drill. Text WIN to 83338. Right.
Friday the 13th.
And no.
Sends shivers down my spine.
I might be wrong. I think that's the second Friday the 13th in a row. I think we had one.
So
last
used to happen on Friday the 13th when I was at school.
What?
The older years used to give you dead legs, dead arms. Ali, it was like a riot through the school. Literally every Friday the 13th.
Give you that one.
Happened to my brothers at the school when they're older. Literally dead legs. The older years will get you in the corner. Knee to the part of the dead leg.
Right up there.
Right at the arm there.
Yeah.
Dead arm. Honestly,
Punch
you
in
come
there,
home with bruises and you'd be like, yep, Friday the 13th.
Brilliant, man. I was happy days.
Doesn't happen now, thank God.
No, happy days. Okay, Friday the 13th. We don't need a Friday the 13th for Tottenham, I'm afraid, at this moment in time, because there's a terrible state of affairs there.
Listen to the boos at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Another home defeat.
Make no mistake, Tottenham Hotspur at this moment in time are in a relegation fight.
Burnley 2, Spurs 2.
We need a remedy, and we've tried everything. We tried the Contes, the Mourinhos. It just doesn't work. We need something. We're in a bad place. We are reaping what we sow.
Tottenham 1, Arsenal 4, North London derby delight for the Gunners.
The games coming up, obviously Fulham away, Palace at home, and Liverpool away. All three of those games, there is no easy game.
It's a North London derby, right? We're in a relegation fight, and what do? Nothing.
This is the worst team I've ever seen.
Last year.
Yeah, I know, but they were terrible.
Next year, they might be the best Spurs side you've seen in the Championship.
Simple question for you, mate. They're banging trouble, aren't they?
I'll tell you what, they are. 2 wins in 18, no Premier League wins in 2026.
2 wins in 18?
Yes, they're in big trouble, Ali. And the last thing they're probably going to need is Champions League knockout stage games. That's the last thing they're going to need, because it's go time. And who do you not want to play, really? I know Everton beat them recently. You don't want to be playing Fulham away next.
My concern would be, I'm not sure, and it's only an observation because we don't know. I'm not sure there's enough in that camp that really care.
No.
And as I say, I'm not in the camp, so I don't know, but looking at them, looking at body language, whether it's Romero, even Van de Ven at the weekend,
Yeah. Did you see the clip of Van de Ven ignoring Igor Tudor?
That's what I'm saying.
Telling him to press.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
To push
mate.
up the pitch. I didn't like that, and a lot of Spurs fans haven't took that well.
No.
I just look at them now, and I just think...
It's a lack of respect,
Yeah,
mate.
and I look at them, I think, they're just not great either.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? I'm watching them against Arsenal, I'm like, you are not great. The first half, you are sitting back like you're Bradford City playing Arsenal in the Cup. You are Tottenham Hotspur, and this season you have lost 8-2 in aggregate over two games against Arsenal.
That's unbelievable, isn't it?
8-2, Ali, against your local rivals.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. On one side of things that Spurs fans may not have considered with the threat of relegation looming is the financial implications of dropping down to the second tier. So let's bring in someone who knows it far better than you and I'll ever know it. He's going to explain all the numbers and the ramifications of a relegation should it happen for Spurs. It's a very good morning to football finance expert Kieran Maguire. Kieran, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Kieran.
How are you?
Morning, guys. Great show as always.
Great stuff, Kieran. Thanks very much for joining us. Kieran, I mean, I'll be honest, myself included, last couple of weeks I've been looking at the league saying, well, Tottenham will be fine. They'll be absolutely fine. And then I'm looking at it recently and I'm saying, actually, you know something? No, they won't. They are banging trouble. They could be in serious jeopardy of relegation, which I'm guessing, my friend, would be an absolute financial disaster for them.
That's right. I think if you go from Champions League, where they are at present, to Championship, we're probably looking at a potential reduction in revenue of around about £250 million. They'll be in receipt of parachute payments instead of the money they get from the Premier League. Last year they got 128 million from the Premier League. It would be 45 in terms of parachute payments. They won't get any of the money from the Champions League. They've earned 70 million to date, plus they've got gate receipts from those matches. If you take a look at the gate receipts, they're going to struggle to get 62,000. If it's Lincoln at home on a Tuesday night, getting a full capacity crowd. And Spurs fans, they do support their team, but being able to extract full value will be really difficult. And then you've got to look at their sponsors. They've got a £40 million a year deal with AI. They've got the big deal with Nike. There's likely to be relegation clauses in those as well.
What about, Kieran, when you look at frozen season ticket prices, that's not fair, is it, on the Spurs fans?
Well, Spurs will argue that you'll be getting more games. You're getting more bang for your buck in the sense that there will be 23 games in the Championship instead of 19. But I think Spurs fans will be very angry that they're already unhappy with the way that seniors have been treated by the club, in the sense that they're being moved around. You can now only get the discount for being a senior fan if you get to 67 instead of 65. So there's a lot of unhappiness amongst the fan base in terms of the prices. And if we look at the whole of the Premier League, Spurs on average charge the second highest, just behind Arsenal, in terms of what they're asking fans to pay. It works out as an average of £101 per ticket. You can't justify that in the Championship. So you're absolutely right, Gabby, that there will be repercussions.
Yes. Keown, tell me, mate, I would imagine Spurs are a club that won't have clauses in their players' contracts. Obviously, other clubs would have, that run the risk of relegation. You know, if you drop down a division, your wages or your salary will drop to X amount of pounds, whatever it would be. But I would imagine Spurs would never think that they'd be in this position, so it's clauses that they just wouldn't have.
They should now.
I agree with you entirely, Ali. I sometimes see players' contracts if I'm involved in sort of expert witness work, looking at disputes and so on. And certainly at the elite end of the Premier League, it's all focused towards bonuses for qualifying for the Champions League and how those are organised. As clubs such as Spurs wouldn't have even countenanced the prospect of relegation, so it's unlikely to have such clauses. I mean, I would expect an exodus at the end of the season. Should that be the case, the club will be looking to cash in, and players, as you know yourselves, guys, you want to play at the elite end of football yourselves. So there will be players wanting to leave, and there will be players that the club will want to leave as well, which will help to reduce the wage bill. What Spurs have got in their favour is that they already substantially have the lowest wage bill of the Big Six, or the so-called Big Six, which will be in their favour. But even so, it will be a challenge. And they also owe £300 million in unpaid transfer fees for players that they've already signed because they bought them on instalments.
Do you think it's something they have to bring in, though, sorry, Ali, into contracts now, even if they do stay up this season, because their struggles in the last two seasons?
Well, I mean, they put the thing to the test last year in the sense that they finished 17th. So if I was an executive negotiating, I would be selling it on the grounds of, look, guys, this isn't going to happen, but we're just covering ourselves in the hope that the player and the representatives will go along. But if Spurs are competing at the upper end of the Premier League for talent, if you were a player, would you want to go to Spurs with a 25% reduction clause if you get relegated, or other clubs at the same level who are not offering such clauses? So that could have an impact upon their ability to recruit some of the better players.
I want to ask you now about Aston Villa and Newcastle. You know, both clubs that have got problems, haven't they, with financial fair play. How important is it for, first of all, Aston Villa to finish in the Champions League positions this season?
I think it's absolutely essential in the sense that Villa this season have had to operate with one hand tied behind their back. They are subject to sanctions from UEFA, so they're operating to a business plan. There have been stories circulating, but they've not been confirmed, that they may have even breached that, and therefore they could face another fine next season. So it's very frustrating, I think, for Villa fans and for the club. They've got very wealthy owners. They are very ambitious. They are very aspirational. And the difference between the Champions League and the Europa League has never been greater. For every pound you make in the Champions League, you only get 22 pence in the Europa League. And it does have a significant impact upon your ability to recruit and retain talent.
Keown, as usual, very informative.
Legend,
absolutely appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much. Have a good week.
Cheers, guys.
Now we're going to turn our attention back to the top of the Premier League. I want to hear from you about whose hands the title race is really in. Is it Arsenal's to lose or Manchester City's to win? Give us a call, guys, 03717 223344, and we'll be putting your questions to our chief football anchor and the voice of talkSPORT, Adrian Durham, from 8 a.m. We also want to hear from Man United fans. Could you win it next season? There's a question. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins. Higher.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
will see both of them today.
Yeah, foul. Thank you. Definitely free kick. 100%.
Giving a free
What
kick.
are we doing here? Ref, don't let
Cross comes in from the right-hand side. Gabriel goes up to win the header.
Ref, what are we doing
Conan
here?
Wani takes it down and scores.
Ref, what are we
the
doing
referee, as soon as the ball hit the back of the net, has given a foul.
Ref, what are we
How
doing
much contact is there?
Ref, let's
has
not
he
be dumb.
pushed him? Has he shoved him? Let's have a look at a replay, Abby.
Ref, let's
I
not
bet
be
this
dumb.
is soft.
This is going to be so soft.
If it's soft,
and so
because it's soft doesn't mean it's not a foul. Let's get that one
Imagine
right.
if it was on you lot.
It's not though. It's on you.
Gallagher, ball comes in.
Yes.
Oh, that's no way a foul! It's no way a foul!
He's pushed him, ref.
Are you joking?
That's got no place in the
my
game.
God,
Oh, it's so
That's got
soft!
no place in the game.
CJ, take
He's a
your-
big 6 foot 5 centre half. That's embarrassing.
We have to let the ref
That is
rest.
a disgrace.
Look at that. Oh, ref.
Oh, that's not a foul. That's embarrassing. That's a goal.
That is horrible.
Foul.
Oh, my days.
How is that not being?
That's
Oh,
not a
my
foul.
God, ref.
That
That's
is
got no
a
place in football.
disgrace.
That's got
No
no
way a
place
foul.
in
I
football.
think that's disgraceful.
That's one of the most violent tackles I've seen in a minute. That is crazy. That is crazy.
That is an absolute
Talk to the ref.
disgrace.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. I have to
I'm
see
sorry,
the replay.
I think that's a disgrace.
I
That
don't
is
know,
so
man. I don't know, man.
It's a classic example of slow motion making it look worse than it
Oh,
There
my
is,
God.
there is minimal contact, and the big lad's gone down
That's
like
crazy.
an
It's
absolute.
so
So is that not a bias against him? Because he's a big
It's
player.
so soft.
He wouldn't go down if he didn't feel contact.
The game
How
is
can that be a free
completely
kick then? How
gone.
can that be given as a
You
foul,
not
mate?
talk to the refs.
No, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
I respect your
It's
opinion.
like literally.
I think it is. I think it's
literally.
Ah, see, oh, Abby, oh,
That is-
that hurts. Yellow card, see.
Well, do you know what? This is the problem with the modern game because the game is well.
We're going to have to explain cricket. I mean, this is, we've not get, there's not enough hours in the day for us to explain cricket. It is what time? It's 7:49, guys. It's Tuesday the 24th of February. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Now here, I'll have a tune into this. 3 goals, 1 silver, 1 bronze. Team GB finished 15th in the final medal table at the Winter Olympics in Milan. Their best ranking since '84. They won a record 3 goals. Matt Weston men's skeleton, becoming the very first British man to win an individual Olympic skeleton title. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale mixed team snowboard cross. This duo made history by winning GB's first ever Olympic gold medal in snow. Watched it. Remarkable. Loved it. Matt Weston and Tabby Stoker mixed team skeleton. Weston became the first British athlete to win 2 goals at a single Winter Games. 1 silver medal. Team motor, men's curling. Watched it Saturday night, man. I was devastated. Devastated. Led by skip Bruce Mowat. The team secured silver, matching the result from Beijing in 2022 and 1 bronze medal. Is this the longest introduction ever in history, by the way? Zoe Atkin, women's freestyle half pipe. On the final day of the games, Atkin secured bronze to round off this record-breaking haul. In doing so, she and her sister Izzy, who won bronze in 2018, became the first British siblings to win Winter Olympic medals since 1924. And we are absolutely ecstatic to say the bronze medalist joins us in the studio right now. Zoe, welcome. Yes. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
So good to see you. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much. I'm super stoked to be here. I feel so many emotions right now. I'm obviously super stoked. It's been such a dream come true to win an Olympic medal. It's been a dream of mine since, as you mentioned, my sister won in 2018, and I was there watching her, and I remember being like, this is so cool. I need to do this.
Well, do you know, I'm going to say to you, the obvious question is, to somebody that comes in, how did you get into the sport? But there's an obvious answer to it. Family.
Yeah, family. It's always been, my family are really big skiers, and my sister, she kind of honestly bullied me into the sport a little bit. She was, forcing me off these little jumps, or whatever little bumps we could find along the mountain to get some airtime.
Yeah.
And I kind of just fell in love with like the feeling of the flight. And I think that's, the most exciting thing about the sport.
You started competing at professional level at 14, didn't you?
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
15, yeah.
Wow, that's young, isn't
So
it?
young, yes.
Pretty young, yeah. That's like the minimum age you have to be to do it, and yeah, it was a lot for sure. But it's so much fun. I don't know if you were watching the sport before the Olympics or just tuned in for the Olympics.
I've got to be honest. I'll be brutally honest.
Exciting.
The Winter Olympics, I was saying to Gabby, I just think it just grabbed the imagination of the whole country. I was sitting watching it, getting right involved in it. Your own sport, for example. Where do you practice that kind of stuff? It's not as if you can go to any old ski resort and practice. There must be the preparation. It must be it's immaculate. You cannot put a foot wrong.
Totally, yeah. It's a very niche sport, of course, but it's also it's definitely really exciting. The margin for error is really, really small.
Of course.
It's 22-foot walls of sheer ice basically, and we do a bunch of tricks and maneuvers like on the way down the mountain. So it's definitely it takes a lot of preparation. We do a lot of repetitions like over and over and over again, and we also have airbags in certain facilities where we can practice our tricks safely before we try them on snow. But of course, when you're going 5 meters out of that already really tall wall, the margin for error is really, really small. So it definitely can be a little bit scary. And I feel like that's kind of what makes the sport so exciting, is kind of that adrenaline and, watching people, kind of flirt the line with.
Oh, yeah.
But it's been written that you've worked with sports psychologists to manage that intense fear for 30 seconds. Like, talk us about that, the nerves and the fear before you compete.
Yeah, it's definitely, for me, I think there's kind of a stereotype that, action sports athletes are just kind of a little bit stupid or like crazy in the head or just crazy adrenaline junkies, which for me, I don't really necessarily think that, is true for me. I've definitely felt the fear, and I feel the fear every single day. What I'm doing is dangerous. So I think a lot of that is just being okay with those uncomfortable feelings and being able to, make sure that I'm being as prepared as possible and, having that confidence in myself and really trusting my body. And yeah, as you said, I work with sports psych to kind of manage those feelings. But also I feel like that's kind of what makes the sport so exciting. It is that adrenaline is kind of, pushing your limits and getting right up to that point where you're like, well, oh my gosh.
Well, it must be because, like I said, Gabby and I played football, right, for example, and we've got 90 minutes, we've got 45 minutes each half. So if you make a mistake, you've got a chance to rectify it, whether you make a mistake, scoring a goal, whatever it may be, giving a goal away. You've got 90 minutes to, change that. You guys can't.
Yeah, it's definitely, we have to be perfect.
A completely different psyche, really, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. We do get 3 runs, so there's kind of, if you fall on one of the runs, which I actually ended up falling on one of my runs in run 2 in the Olympics, and you kind of just, it hurts too. So you fall and you're, disappointed that you fell because, you're on live TV, everyone's watching, but you're also like, oh, that really hurt. I just fell like 20 feet to ice. So it's definitely, it takes a kind of special kind of mindset to be like, okay, whatever that's in the past, I got to move forward. How can I make this next run better, and how can I fix what, went wrong? And I think that's kind of what I showed on my 3rd run, is kind of that like mental resilience that I've been practicing. And it was, it's definitely, it can be mentally tough for sure.
What about your degree? Because don't you use that as well to help process the fear that you got?
Yeah. So I'm studying, it's called symbolic systems at university right now. And it's kind of a mix between like cognitive science and computer science. So for the cognitive science part, we learn a lot obviously about like psychology and everything like that. And I think for me, kind of learning a little bit more about the brain and, the processes of emotions and fear and everything like that kind of helps, I guess, in an academic setting as opposed to, in practice. I think that's really helped me, I guess, just take a step back from when I'm feeling those really intense emotions and being like, these are just biological processes, and they're there to make sure that we're activated and ready when we're doing these crazy maneuvers.
Here's one for you, Joy. Excuse me. We're sitting watching it here back in the UK, and as I said to you, it's unbelievable. It is absolutely fantastic. Are you aware of that? I guess you're over there, you're in a kind of bubble. Are you aware of the emotion and the feeling back home? And I must admit, while we were watching it, I've got to say the atmosphere looked absolutely fantastic, man. Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's definitely, it's really a privilege to be able to kind of share my sport on this kind of world stage. I feel like we only get that opportunity, once every 4 years at the Olympics, and to really share what I've been working on for so long is really, really special. And the atmosphere, is amazing. I mean, we had, a couple delays with weather and everything.
Yeah.
So we ended up, we were on the last day of the game. So it's definitely crazy to be watching the Olympics for so long. And then it's, we're the last event. And after all these delays and, trying to be focused for all that time. But then we ended up having an amazing day. It was sunny and people came out and watched. And it's just, the people are up on the side of the half pipe. So
Brilliant.
I can hear them cheering when I'm in the air, which is so special. I just feel so cool. I'm flying above them.
How do you handle going from the high of what you've just been? I'm not saying the low. You do come back down to earth, right? I know you've incredible. You've achieved a medal, wonderful, but that adrenaline buzz has gone. How do you handle that? I mean, I saw the guys arriving back at Gatwick and getting a wonderful reception as they should. But how do you handle it back to civil life, if you like?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that there's kind of that phenomenon of the post-Olympic blues a little bit because of that, it's the pinnacle of, everything you do and everything you've worked for. And then all of a sudden it's over. And I definitely felt that at my first Olympic Games in Beijing 2022, after I was quite disappointed with my results or my, performance. And I think that was really disappointing and tough to get over. But I think for me, what has been really key to my success in the past couple of years and at this Olympic Games is being a lot more process oriented. And I think for me, just being really proud of the way that I skied and the way that I handled myself mentally. And obviously walking away with a medal also helps with that. I'm definitely not as bummed as I was last time. But I think, just realizing that, it's a culmination of all that work and it's not just, one event. It's kind of who I've become. It's about the journey. And
So can we fast forward now to the World Cup in the summer? England play America. Who are you supporting?
Well, obviously England.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
Well, that was going to be my final. Not so much a question, more of a statement. You've got that medal around your neck. Now, would you do us a quick favour? Could you please show that to the camera? Wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. There you go. Brilliant. And the question is, you've won that medal, but just as importantly, you have the talent and ability to go to whatever passport queue you want. When you arrive in London or you arrive in New York, pick a queue. Dual citizenship.
Exactly.
How good's that?
Yeah. No,
I've seen those queues at JFK, Zoe. They're unbelievable.
No, yeah, it's my secret superpower. No, yeah, I think it's really special to be, obviously, I have an American accent. I grew up in America, but I have so much family over here and I spent so much time here growing up. And, my family all came out to support, in Livigno. They all came from England. So just so special to kind of have that community behind me and represent that and my family. And yeah, it's definitely... It's nice to be kind of, have both of those influences in my life growing up. Obviously, my mom's Malaysian as well, so definitely just kind of all these influences.
Joy, brilliant. Many
Fantastic
congratulations
yes.
from everybody at talkSPORT. Thanks so much for taking the time to come in and see us. Wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Enjoy it. We're joined later on by another good medalist, gold standard skeleton star Tabby Stoker will with us, and Tabby will join us in the studio. What time? 9:30, I think. Stay with us. Thank you.
What's the reaction been to Conor Benn's move to Zuffa in the Matchroom stable? We heard Barry Hearn earlier on talking about the lack of loyalty. He was very upset on breakfast this morning. Has it been keenly felt throughout the organisation?
Yeah, look, we're all different. We've been through a lot with Conor over the years. We've stood by him in tough times. My mindset is very much it is what it is, and we have to move on. We have a huge business. We deliver 40 events a year around the world. We've got a sold out show this weekend in Phoenix. And if you spend too much time, focusing on that, you're not going to focus on the positive. It's a shame, but we are where we are.
Barry Hearn quite upset on the breakfast show. Eddie Hearn talked about it as well, saying that maybe they made a mistake with Conor. They thought that they had, that they had a relationship with him. They've been with him for a long time. They'd earned a little bit of loyalty from him. Barry did say, if you want loyalty, buy a dog at the same time. But the situation is that Conor Benn, who they stuck with during a very difficult period, has gone on and signed with Dana White. What's your reaction to it?
I think Frank's reaction is probably the most mature reaction I've heard. The reasons why they stuck with Conor Benn, insofar as they did, was because there was a huge commercial opportunity via Conor Benn. It wasn't out of the goodness of their hearts. It wasn't a case of a charity case. Eddie might, at the time, I remember talking to Eddie, didn't lend him any money. No, I didn't lend him.
Aguero, Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Ali, you might have to get the vest on.
Oh, I'm taking this off.
The aircon is on the lowest, and there is no aircon.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's on the lowest setting.
It's a big, massive,
boiling
heavy. Oh, and I'm too hot, mate. I'm too
Let's
hot.
get some vests, mate.
Yeah. No,
I seem to get.
I'm not sure I've got the physique for
You've got the arms, mate.
I'm not sure I've got the physique for it to be quite
boiling.
Okay, 5 minutes past 8, Tuesday the 24th of February. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with our good friends Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Lots on the way for you this morning. We've had plenty and we'll get plenty more to come. We're going to dive into the latest boxing news with former world cruiserweight champion Johnny Nelson. Johnny will be joining us, including, and he's getting his views on the confirmed rematch between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, as well as the fallout to Conor Benn's Matchroom exit. Oh, I wonder what Johnny's got to say about that. Now though, say it quietly, are Man United actually quite good?
No.
Burma will chase after it. He's only got Michael Keown and the keeper between him and goal. He's rolling square, and Shesko puts it into the bottom right-hand corner. Manchester United lead by a goal to nil.
It was a £199 million goal. It was a brilliant goal from Man United.
Well, that's what you pay the money for. How often have we said it? It's all about players at the end of the day. And good coaches need good players.
There's always going to be things for us to improve on, but to have the run of games and the results that we've had, obviously there's a lot that the boys are doing really well.
Yep, that's right. Another win for Michael Carrick's Manchester United. He's now 5 wins out of Carrick's 6 games in charge. Every Manchester United fan I know absolutely delighted, apart from Taka.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
happy.
yeah.
Fourth in the table and only 3 points behind Villa, and third, who are in a title race apparently. Anyway, let's get a bit more on United with the voice of talkSPORT, who was at the game last night. It's our one and only Adrian Durham, who I don't know how he travels to all these games. I mean, I'm not bad myself, but he takes it to another level. Adrian,
Legend.
Good morning.
Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, both of you. I've been listening to the show, terrific show this morning, and I don't know how I do it either, but come on, I'm nowhere near your level of mileage. Ally McCoist, come on.
Not sure, mate. I'm not sure. I think it's a close run thing. Adrian, ask the question. Now, I mean, are Manchester United actually quite good?
They weren't particularly good last night, I've got to say. They weren't great to watch. I mean, it wasn't a brilliant game of football, let's face it. Everton were no better, so it wasn't great. But the one moment of magic, the one real bit of quality was the goal. The ball from Cunha is fantastic. The run from Sesko, sensational. Perfectly weighted pass from Mbeumo, and the first time finish was first class. So it was a brilliant goal and just one brilliant moment. But that's all they needed. Sometimes when you're not playing well and you do that, it's fantastic. And they got the 3 points. For United, it was a bit of a throwback goal, I found. I said this last night on the show. This was, United playing on the counter, winning on the counter, scoring on the counter. And this, in certain times, in Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, that's exactly what Manchester United did. So it was a throwback. Carrick understands the DNA. So there's a lot of positivity right now. Even if they don't quite get it right, Man United, they still managed to pull it out of the fire. So, yeah, all is positive right now.
But Adrian, should we be shocked at what Manchester United are doing? I mean, Mbeumo, 71 million, Shesko, 67 million, Cunha, 63 million, all involved in that goal. That's what they should be doing, shouldn't they, for the money that's been spent on them?
Well, let me ask you both, because they've had a season where Amorim has tried to impose this system on the players. They've not got used to it at all. They're not suited to it, but they've had to train that way, play that way all season. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's gone. Michael Carrick comes in. They're playing a different way, and they look totally at home. So I understand the point you're making. They spent a lot of money on some good players, and that was a £199 million goal. They're great players that should be, or they cost a lot of money. They should be scoring goals like that. Yeah. However, they've had a really rough season in terms of their preparation because they've been doing it a different way for at least half the season. Now it looks like they're feeling really comfortable with things. I think the biggest issue for United is if things do go wrong, when they start to maybe lose a game or back-to-back games, how will Carrick handle that? How will the players handle that? It was a test last night because Martinez was out injured. He just, changed the defence around and everything seemed fine. They kept another clean sheet. And here's another thing. They're talking about the attacking players there. Man United have kept 5 clean sheets this season, 3 of them under Michael Carrick.
What about the goalkeeper, though? I think he just goes about his business, the goalkeeper, Adrian. But how important is it for centre-backs and full-backs to have a wee look behind them
and see somebody that they're confident in, they can rely on, lets them go and defend, and they know there's a cross coming into the box, he'll come and take it, or there's a shot to save, he won't do. I don't want to tempt fate, but he looks without being. I don't think he's been absolutely outstanding wow factor, but he has been, I think, giving them a real strength in an organisation.
If you look at those corners, and this is something that maybe officials, maybe coaches actually more than officials need to get a grip on. I mean, a coach is actually sending players out just saying have a big fight at a corner because it's not entertaining in any way. It doesn't look like it gets teams anywhere. Yeah, Arsenal had some joy earlier in the season, but less so now. But you're right. Senelomans last night was absolutely fantastic. He cost £18 million. He's only played once for Belgium. Nobody was expecting this from this keeper. He's meant to come in and fill a place on the bench all season. He's been absolutely sensational. And I was thinking to myself last night, can you imagine previous Manchester United goalkeepers in those situations? Man United would have conceded 3 or 4 last night because the keeper wouldn't have been able to claim the ball, hold the ball. It would have been a shambles. He's restored some faith in those defenders, and they can get on with their jobs, not worrying about who's behind them. He has been one of these signings of the season. He's been brilliant.
Adrian, I want to ask you quickly before we go about the relegation battle. I mean, West Ham, they tried, didn't they? Their hardest, but couldn't get over the line against Bournemouth. Forest, I thought, played well. Unlucky to lose in the last minute to Liverpool. But Spurs, if you're a Spurs fan, how worried are you, Adrian?
We should be very worried, and I think there's a very real chance they will go down. I'm so old, I remember when they went down last time in the late 70s. And actually, yes, they came back up, but they finished 3rd in what is now the Championship when they came back up. So there's no foregone conclusion there that they're going to come straight back up. You can't trust them to win a game. So I was going through their fixtures last night. They've got Wolves away. You might think, oh yeah, they'll pick up 3 points there. No. Do you really trust this Tottenham side? 1, with the injuries they've got, 2, with the lack of quality they've got, 3, with a new manager who we don't know about yet. I don't think the players know about him yet. He doesn't know about the players yet. I think Sunday was a real shocker for him that his players were that bad. So have a look at the fixtures, fine, but you can't trust Spurs to win any of those fixtures. So they're very much in a relegation battle. And by the way, if you're not a Tottenham fan, what a story if Tottenham Hotspur go down. That is the best stadium the EFL will ever have seen. But they could be in meltdown if they go down.
Tyson Fury versus Andy Joshua at Championship Stadium.
Adrian, talking about meltdown, mate. Talking about meltdown. You and I, Adrian in particular, we know the importance of a happy camp, a happy dressing room, a good atmosphere. Doesn't guarantee success, mate, but it helps. I'm seriously concerned about the talkSPORT dressing room, mate. Keown and Goldstein. Martin Keown and Goldstein. Adrian, have you heard it? I mean, we've got to get them together. This
I don't like it.
It's not good for morale, mate.
I don't know what side to pick, Adrian.
What are you thinking, Ed?
I'm thinking we should put them in the ring.
Imagine that.
I mean, we could get some boxing promoters on board. Adam Cattrall get in there. Gareth A. Davis. It could be absolutely magnificent. What I would say is that Martin Keown, honestly, he's unbelievable. He's so Arsenal, it's unbelievable. How on earth, how can you not have a go at Arsenal when they're 2-0 up at the team, bottom of the table, who've won 1 game all season, and they don't win the game? You have to criticise them. So there's no agenda. You're just responding. It's a bit like after Sunday. Yes, they got the job done, and it was a good response to dropping points against Wolves. But, lads, it's Tottenham. It was no big deal. It was no big win for Arsenal. It was a formality. So, yeah, I'm worried about the dressing room as well. I think these two need to get it on, lace them up, get it on in the ring, and let's sort it out that way.
We've got space on the 17th floor, Adrian. Let's do it here.
What a great idea, and what a view. If the boxing's rubbish, if it's a knockout after 3 seconds, what a view.
Hey, brilliant, pal. Thanks for your time. Have a good day, mate.
Cheers, guys. Great show.
Take it easy. 03717 223344. United fans, give us a call this morning. 5 wins out of 6 now for Michael Carrick. I mean, what a start. What a start. Would you give him here's one for you. Would you give him the job right now? Give us a call. Neither would I.
Wait till the end of the season.
We've just answered that question. 03717 223344. Stay with us.
Four points clear at the top of the table, Hearts, at the moment. Celtic do have a game in hand, but they're 6 points further back. So even if they won that, the gap would still be 3. And of course, to next Sunday, those two play each other in the Old Firm game. Is the loser out of the title race?
Pretty well, yeah. Well, I mean, obviously Rangers in a slightly better position, aren't they? Probably look favourites to win that game now.
Hearts have got to keep their nerve. I thought the game at Ibrox last week against Rangers, it got the better of them a little bit. They looked a little bit leggy, but it also looked like the atmosphere was there. You saw, here it is. You're in a big league now. You're challenging these guys, the established orthodoxy. To some extent, albeit Rangers haven't won the SPFL that much over the last 10 or 11 years since their demise and repackaging of the club. But you're still playing against giants, and you could feel the atmosphere in the stadium. And I felt that Hearts succumb to it a little bit. So now it's upon them. It's in their own hands. They've got to be able to ride the storm. Celtic and Rangers do what they do. They've done their job against Celtic and Rangers. They've played them.
Just find a way to win. They've had a few 1-0 wins, and that's enough. So
do they get Lawrence Shankland back? Do they get Cam Devlin back? Are they back soon? Because they've lost those two players out of their lineup.
Well, Shankland's still not available at the moment.
But Devlin's coming back, though, isn't he?
In the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But Shankland, obviously, a massive miss because he is the goals for
So is
them.
Devlin. He's a big miss for them.
But 1-0 against Falkirk this weekend. They've got a big game at home.
It's murder on the dance floor, but you better not kill the groove. Hey, 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 it's murder on the dance floor, but you better not steal the moves. DJ, gonna burn this goddamn house right down.
Magic, yeah?
Sophie
Baxter.
Baxter.
Right, what we've got, brilliant tune. 8:20, Tuesday the 24th of February, talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with this morning. That is Sophie Ellis Bextor's Murder on the Dance Floor, right? But why are we playing it this Tuesday morning? Gabby, this is shocking, man. Yeah. There's a story in The Sun that says in the last 5 years, since the pandemic, a third of Britain's nightclubs have closed down.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you know that?
Yes. Because the younger generation don't go to nightclubs as much, Ali. They don't.
What do they do then?
I think a lot of them, like, they might go to like bars, and they're acting maybe older than they should be. It's a lot in Birmingham. I know people who own nightclubs and not getting the people in.
I can't believe that.
I know, it's a different generation. Like, maybe they don't drink as much as well, Ali.
Oh, I know that, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Exactly, they don't drink as much. They don't have the taste of alcohol. So, yeah, it's a real shame. And even across the world, Ali, like Las Vegas, there's been a lot of nightclubs and beach clubs that have closed. Because people, like, obviously Ibiza will always be Ibiza, but places like Vegas as well, like, it's not like it used to be when I went.
I went to Ibiza, man.
Queues of, like, mile-long queues again.
I went to Ibiza in, I think it was 1980, right? And I swear to God, Gabby, I had to go to the airport. I was meant to be there for 3 weeks, and I had to go to the airport after 10 days and just make up an excuse to go on a flight home.
Yeah.
Oh man, alive! I was shaking and everything, man. It was just ridiculous.
We've got scary stories from Vegas.
Ridiculous. Aye.
We went to Vegas, right? And we done. People go for 2-3 days because it's a long flight. We went for 8 days, right?
You are kidding me.
Packed all our stuff. Finished, right? Went to the airport. We were sat at the airport, Ali, and we looked at each other and says, "Why are we going home? There's still 6 days till pre-season." So we turned round.
No.
Yes, turned round, checked in at Caesar's Palace, and stayed for 3 more nights.
That must.
Our partners, the abuse we got, Ali. We all texted at the same time, and we got
Never mind the partners. How did pre-season go?
It wasn't great, but we got dogs abuse, Ali, of like.
Man, alive! I can only imagine. Right, moving swiftly on. It's time to get the latest odds with Coral, and John Hill's going to be joining us.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to make this Cheltenham Festival more rewarding. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, John.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Oh, we're doing really well, John. How are
mate.
you handling that news? I've got this vision of you in the 90s, John, ripping those nightclubs in Rochdale apart single-handedly, mate.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It brings back the memories, doesn't it? It brings me to a memory, actually, of going to Llandudno in North Wales into a nightclub with a carpet. Have you ever heard of that before? A nightclub with a carpet as the dance floor. I think it goes to show the age of the clientele there, in case anybody fell and broke a hip or anything. So that's one that always stands out.
A nightclub with a carpet and a dance floor.
Honestly, this old-fashioned carpet.
You definitely wore shoes to a nightclub, didn't you, John? You definitely wore your school shoes.
John, I'm not sure that would have suited your style. That not slow you down a bit in the dance floor.
It would, yeah. Well, you know my break dancing, and you know what I'm like when I get going. So it would have slowed me down a little bit, but fun and games, isn't it?
John, talking about fun and games, Manchester United, can they finish third?
Well, they're absolutely flying now, really. And Michael Carrick, for whatever reason, he's getting a tune out of these players, isn't he? And not really good for the stock of Ruben Amorim, isn't it? But great if you're a United fan, and you mentioned top 4 very much in their sight now. 4-7 Manchester United for a top 4 finish. Villa 4-7, so same odds as Aston Villa. Chelsea, they're up to 5-2. Brentford 28-1. So United looking good, and I hear possibly 5th place could be good enough this year for Champions League.
Yes.
So United could very much be back in the Premier European competition next season, boys.
I think it'd go all the way as well. Between Liverpool, Chelsea, Villa and Manchester United, all the way. I'll see it going.
It's going to be an interesting battle, isn't it? You know, interesting at the top.
Not much in it.
With Arsenal and City. Arsenal 1-2 now, City 6-4. So that's very much closed the gap in recent weeks. And then we've got this battle for top 4 as well. So it should be a good end to the season in the Premier League.
John, I'm looking at the fixtures tonight. Obviously, some Champions League stuff, some Championship stuff. Probably the one that sticks out for me. And tell me if I'm wrong. Newcastle, fantastic performance. You think that tie's clearly, obviously finished.
Yeah.
Inter. That's the game for me, mate.
Ooh.
Yeah, it could well be. Yeah, well, the odds on at 1-4 into Milan, so the betting suggests that they'll certainly win the game tonight. But will they qualify? That's the question. And I tell you what, there seems to be very much a rise in the Norwegian football at the moment. Obviously, Norway qualifying for the World Cup, which was fantastic, and obviously their domestic side is going well. So this is on a knife edge.
What can you give me, Bodo Glimt, to qualify?
They're 10-11, so it's very much a flip of a coin. We're saying. To go through. So, where would your money be here, Gabby?
I think they've already been to Atletico Madrid this season and beat them. So there's no reason why tonight they can't frustrate him. So I think Bodo Glimt go through.
It's a good one, that. Great game.
Interesting. That's certainly one to keep an eye on tonight.
Yes.
But you mentioned Newcastle, obviously, British interest. They're not going to have any problems not qualifying, are they?
No,
They're absolutely cruising. What a performance it was for them in the away leg. In terms of tonight's game, they're also odds on here at 1-5 to prevail at St James's Park. So Newcastle should be going through. And in terms of the outright market, obviously, for the Champions League, Arsenal favourites at this stage at 7-2. So Arsenal obviously licking their wounds in the Premier League with that gap closing, but they're still going for 4 competitions, Arsenal.
Absolutely.
So they're 7-2 favourites here. Bayern Munich 5-1, PSG 7-1, Barca 15-2, Manchester City 8-1. So that's the outright market of the Champions League.
That Newcastle game last week, John, I met a lot of the Newcastle lads actually in Turkey. They were brilliant in the airport on the way back from Karabag, because I was at the Forest game and I met them travelling back. And I was saying to them, I mean, Newcastle were great, brilliant result. I said, but I was doing the commentary in the game. I said in the first half, I said I didn't fancy doing any commentary. I just put on the theme tune to Benny Hill, man. Some of that defending from Carrick was absolutely.
Talk about let you go through the middle.
Oh man,
yeah. I had a fancied my chances against that. I have to say the way they were defending,
terrible. It was
incredible for the Champions League.
Yes.
It was pretty poor, wasn't it?
John, what about the Championship? Some big games. Obviously, Blackburn have taken it. What a game they've picked up. You know, Michael's gone there, absolutely terrific, brilliant result, late winner at the weekend, the big derby game against Preston. They're at home to Bristol, and then equally big game for the Borough.
It is, yeah. Blackburn, well, they're 11-8 to beat Bristol City. As you say, it was a late winner against Preston in that Lancashire derby at the weekend, and then Borough 8-15 to beat Leicester. Leicester obviously struggling a bit this season, so can Middlesbrough close the gap? But Coventry seem to have just steadied the ship again, haven't they? Obviously, that gap closed, and then they had a great victory, didn't they, against their rivals? So they're now 4-5 for the title now, Coventry, Frank Lampard's side. But Middlesbrough hoping to close the gap tonight. I don't think they're playing tonight, are they, Coventry? No, they're not.
No game tonight.
John, it's incredible to think that maybe West Brom or Leicester have got a big chance of going down. Well, what will that do to those two football clubs? One of them going down. Wow.
I know. Yeah, well, we've got a West Brom fan in the office, so I'll be winding him up if they did obviously go down, West Brom. But they're 21-20 to beat Charlton tonight. And then we wish Birmingham, well, obviously, partners of Birmingham City, Gabby. Coral.
We've got a break.
Yeah,
1 second, we've got a break. Thank you, John.
We wish them well against Millwall tomorrow.
You wash your mouth out with soap and water, John. Just a quick one.
They look after me when I go up there.
I know they do.
I bet they do.
England versus Pakistan T20 World Cup. What have you got for us?
Yes, England favourites here, 1-2 favourites. Pakistan 6-4. A bit of a mixed bag for England so far, Ali. Obviously, beaten by West Indies in the group stage, almost lost to Nepal, but it was a good win against Sri Lanka in their opening Super 8s game. So hopefully they can win tonight, England, and have a good chance to qualifying in the semi-finals. But you just never know with this England team. So fingers crossed today.
Brilliant, John. Thanks for your time, pal.
John.
Take care.
Cheers, boys.
That was a look at the latest odds with Coral. 18+, gambleaware.org. Up next, is Martin Keown right? Is there an agenda against Arsenal? 03717 223344. Give us a call.
If you want to be a good presenter and you want to go to the next level, don't take fun from other people losing their demise.
I'm not sure you need to lecture people about how they conduct themselves, Martin.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here to make this Cheltenham Festival more rewarding. 18+, gambleaware.org.
I don't see too many games where they're going to win.
They're picking up points in those matches against teams around them.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to.
Well, I think the yardstick for the new manager, you know, what you're seeing now is what Tottenham Hotspur really is. By the way, it's the real ownership. This is the real ownership. This is what Levy's been blamed for, and what Levy's taken the rap for, and what Levy's taken the consequence for. Is the real ownership of Tottenham Hotspur, the Lewis family. What you're seeing is the real ownership of Tottenham Hotspur. And if you want to change the culture of the football club, change the real ownership, because the real ownership is Lewis and his game. If you wanted to be successful in this league, and one of the comparisons that was probably a poor comparison with the Wenger situation, Wenger was never in a relegation battle, so he never had to worry about the reality of the fact he was prepared to acquiesce to the demands of the ownership that built a new stadium. Spurs are in a relegation battle, and the fact they bought nobody in January tells you where their ambition is. They bought, because that is a clear indication they needed some support, they needed a change of personnel in the dressing room, and they bought nobody. That tells you what the ownership model is and what it isn't. But when you look again at to answer your question about where Spurs get relegated, if they lose to Fulham and Palace, they are in real mortal danger.
Okay, well, look, it's going to be a massive couple of weeks in terms of Tottenham Hotspur and for West Ham United as well, whose next 5 fixtures include games against Manchester City, Aston Villa and Liverpool. And the one benefit, I suppose, that they have got, Tottenham, is that West Ham have only got 25 points and they've got 29. Nottingham Forest losing yesterday.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the tax man at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Okay, 8:35, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. It's Tuesday the 24th of February. Ally Gabby with you, and our good friends Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you. Just to clarify, a couple of messages come in there. Sam Stevens, Sam's inquiring why I like my coffee piping hot. Has to be.
Always.
Coffee has to be, Sam, without any doubt. Without going into too much detail, Sam, regarding my bedtime attire, you're spot on. Absolutely spot on. And Alistair's been on giving me a bit of stick with some justification. He said, due to the fact Friday the 13th, there was one last month, and due to the fact the month was February, which is 28 days, which is divisible by 7, therefore it's natural that there's going to be another Friday the 13th. Thanks for clearing that up, yes. Alistair, and apologise.
Incredible.
Yeah, for the lack of movement in my brain. Heading back to the phone lines in just a moment. Remember that before we're done at 10. Brilliant show to continue with. World Cruiserweight Champion Johnny Nelson will be joining us, and we'll also welcome Winter Games gold medalist Tabby Stoker in the studio. Fantastic. 03717 223344. And the question is this: is there an agenda against Arsenal?
No.
Do people want them to fail? Well, I know somebody that disagrees with me. Gunners Invincible Martin Keown certainly thinks so. And he's single-handedly dragged one of his talkSPORT colleagues even, into a scrap over the matter.
To the one result, it was very interesting. The likes of Goldstein and people on these channels diving in, ridiculing when other people don't do well. That's too far.
No, that's not true.
It is true.
That's not true. I mean,
100%
that's not true. I'm not going to defend Andy Goldstein because it's not in my interest.
Well,
I have any
Andy, play this later. If you want to be a good presenter and you want to go to the next level, don't take fun from other people losing their demise.
Firstly, Keown, it's Mr. Goldstein to you. Arsenal just beat the worst Spurs team ever, and you're screaming about it. A few days ago, you drew with bottom place Wolves. And the so-called invincible Martin Keown, by the way, started just 3 games that season, 2 more than David Bentley, so calm down. Well, my advice to you, Martin Keown, or Keown, is if you want to be a good, decent pundit in the 10 minutes a week you have on the White and Jordan show, get yourself a sense of humour, lighten up, and apologise to me when you finish second again.
I mean, it's remarkable, isn't it?
Martin's got to lighten up. Yeah. If you want to get to the next level, what's the next level for Andy? Ali?
Well, that's a great question.
What can you do? So what is the next level?
What is the next level for Andy? I wouldn't ask Martin. Well, I mean...
Is it a breakfast show?
It's all very well saying you need to take it to the next... I think that's your shout. There you are. I think we need to get Andy on the breakfast show.
Yeah, Andy,
get him to
the next level for you
Andy,
is the breakfast show.
Come up and join us, pal.
And then when you finish...
Let's have an invitation.
Martin will be on at 10, so you can see him after the show.
Yes. I'm putting it in an olive branch to Andy for improvement in the next step.
I think Martin needs a meeting. Needs a meeting with the drive team, the 2:30 meeting.
Well, I mean,
talk about the show and how it'd have to be more serious.
But it is. I mean, there is. I can detect a feeling that I don't really feel with other teams, right? And you tell me I'm wrong. I can detect an anti-Ars. He's got a point here, by the way. But what he needs to realise is that's what football fans do.
Of course it is.
That's what we do.
And Andy's a Manchester United fan. The rivalry between Arsenal and Manchester United been there for years.
But I'll ask you a question: If City were at the top, if Chelsea were at the top, would there be the same anti-Chelsea, anti-City feeling? I think there would be if United were at the top.
United and Arsenal, of course, but I agree.
Is that the two?
Manchester United.
See, there's my question.
Yeah,
That's
they
great.
are.
You've answered it.
Yeah. Manchester United are because of years of winning under Sir Alex Ferguson.
Yes.
Naturally.
Yeah, so
all the players that played against
an element of
Manchester
jealousy.
United. Exactly what they've won. And the entitlement when they've not won the Premier League since 2013.
We're going to take a call, mate, right?
Oh, no.
Greg's an Arsenal fan. Greg's giving us a call.
Greg Keown.
On 03717 223344. Greg, a very good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
We're very well, Greg. Thanks for taking the time to call us. You think Martin's comments are made with some justification, I'm hearing, yes?
Listen, if you have to accept people for what they are. So while you can either have the in-depth actual professional football analysis from people that have been there, done it, won things and things like that, or you can have the clowny side of it. You can have the Andy Goldstein who is 60 years old, dyes his beard, dyes his hair.
That's just good.
And the Gabby Agbonlahor side of it, and the Jamie O'Hara side of it. It's all about what you enjoy, what you want to listen to. If you want to listen to professional insight, winning mentality talk from Ray Parlour, Martin Keown, people like that.
Just Arsenal players. Just Arsenal players.
I'm going to have to say, Greg, is it just the Arsenal players? Is it just the Arsenal players that seem to be talking about a bit of sense in that?
I'm trying to think of any talkSPORT ones that have won things. Cundy, no. Agbonlahor, no. O'Hara, no.
Surely O'Hara.
Have you played football, Greg, in the Premier League?
Not to your standard, Gabby. I can definitely give you that. On your biggest day out, I probably didn't get beaten 4-0 either.
But did you ever play football? Or did you have a bad knee so you didn't make it?
No bad knee, just not to your ability, Gabby.
So who did you play for?
It doesn't mean that I can't talk about it in your way.
Who did you play for, Greg?
You don't have to worry about that.
I know.
It was nothing.
Who did
It
you
was
play
amateur.
for? North London Lions
Gabby,
or something?
But don't worry about that, Gabby. How many trophies did you win?
Don't worry about it. Listen,
it's all very quiet.
I live the dream. I live the dream of most kids playing for my local club, playing for my country.
Hey, Greg, you're asking
becoming a multi-millionaire.
And now,
Greg, you're asking the wrong presenter.
I'm good, mate.
Wally and just sort of wind up instead of actually taking your job seriously.
Greg, you're asking the wrong presenter. You should be asking me that question. Anyway, thanks for the call, Greg. Really appreciate it. We're moving on. We've got Martin on the line. Martin, and it's not Martin Keown, it's Martin, the Liverpool fan. Now, Liverpool have won things. How are you, Martin?
Good morning, Martin.
I'm very well. Morning, guys. You all right?
Well, brilliant, mate. Get a bit of sanity back on this programme, mate. What do you think?
A lot of it's to do with the fans, isn't it? I reckon. I mean, the team are world class. They're unreal. They really are, and they're a joy to watch. But the problem is, you get like AFC, Arsenal TV, and you listen to the fans, and you're thinking to yourself, you know, what world are you in? You know, you think some of the stuff they come out with.
It's incredible.
But, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I've got to be fair. Martin Keown, I was listening to him the other day, I listened to his comments, and I thought to myself, I'm sure that there was something in the media with him jumping up and down about a missed penalty. I don't know too much into it, but it's, you know, could talk about calling the pot kettle black, but I've got no problem with Arsenal, but honest to God, the fans...
Unbearable, mate.
Sometimes they're insufferable, ain't they?
I've got a friend, mate, I haven't spoke to him for probably 3-4 years, and he's popped up this season, out of nowhere. I've gone, where you been? Arsenal fan. Unbearable.
Martin, I've got news for you, mate. I think they might be unbelievable, unbearable, because I think they might win it. What do you think?
No, I sincerely hope not. Honestly, it's going to be. We ain't going to be hearing the last of it.
But Martin,
2040.
Martin, I've got a plan. If they win the Premier League, at the end of the season, we move straight on to who's playing number 10 for England, the World Cup. Straight on. No Arsenal guest, Ali.
No, none
just
at all.
Straight on to the World Cup preview.
A smooth move.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. Martin, quick one. What about your own team? Have you seen them this season, Liverpool?
Not very well. I mean, I spoke to Jeff a couple of weeks back and he said the same thing. You know, we're looking at top four and that's all we're looking at. I think we've been pretty dismal. I watched the performance against Forest at the weekend. You know, that first half display was worrying, weren't it? You know, we're thinking, oh, God, you know, we really, really, really do need to shift it up a gear. Can't really blame it on injuries, you know what I mean? A lot of it's tactical. But listen, we're going to have to bite the bullet this one, ain't we?
Well, Martin, on this conversation, Mo Salah, 9 games, no Premier League goals. Is it time for the young lad Rio to start games for Liverpool?
Oh yeah, I've screamed this for months. You know what I mean? He's young. You know what I mean? You can see the skills when it's on the pitch. Oh, he's unreal, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He skips past me. But, you know, the problem is, because of Salah's calibre, you know, he started it. I mean, there was a lot of controversy before he went to Africa and stuff like that. But, you know, you can't... How long can you live with this for? You know, he's a world-class player, and I love him, and he's done so much for the club. Yeah. But, you know, you've got to start giving the young uns a chance. You really have.
Okay, Martin, I beg your pardon. Thanks very much for your call.
Thank you, mate.
Really appreciate it. That was interesting, wasn't it? Right, still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
Go! Always believe in your soul. You've got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe in gold.
Why did we do it?
I don't know, mate.
Why did we do it?
They get us, don't they? Of course
It's from the Milano Cortina Winter Games. We'll have a real gold medal winner right here in the studio with us. Tabby Stoker is one of the most exciting faces in British sliding, and it will with us very, very shortly. Fantastic, Tabby. Can't wait for you to come in and see that gold medal. That was our breakfast preview. With Travis Perkins higher. Get rid of that.
Always believe in your soul.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Darren, good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, Darren.
Good morning. Not bad, yourself?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for taking the time to call us. What did you think yesterday? What's your views?
Well, at the end of the day, it's a bit of karma for Tottenham, innit? Going off for the back of what they did last season, the fans-wise, the mentality. Oh, yeah, we'd rather lose a game so Arsenal don't win the league. So looks like they'll be in a relegation battle now, and it's come back to haunt them.
You must be pleased with a lot of the performances yesterday. Gyökeres, it's still a little bit of a doubt in people's minds because obviously they've spent a lot of money and he's had in different games at times, but he was brilliant yesterday. Best performance with an Arsenal shirt on, definitely.
At the end of the day, he holds up the play well. You know what I mean? He brings other players into action and all that. And Arsenal lately, well, they're a team scoring team. You know what I mean? End of the day, it's not an individual. They can score goals from anywhere, but yeah, it's going to favour. There's plenty of points to play for. We're up against Man City at the end of the day. You know what the score is to them. It's going to be down to the last 2 games, 2 or 3 games. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a marathon in this league now. It's not a sprint.
Brilliant, Dan. Thanks for your call, pal. We're going to move on. Thank you very much for taking the time to call us. We've got Paul. Paul's a Spurs fan. Maybe not just as happy this morning, Paul.
No, mate, I've got disgrace really from our team. I wanted to phone up and talk about. No one seems to be talking about it. The foul by Kolo Muani on Gabriel yesterday.
Yes.
Shocking.
Right, 8:50, Tuesday, 24th February, talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally and Gabby with you this morning. Thoroughly enjoyed it, mate. You enjoyed it?
Yes, loved it.
Flies in, didn't it? It's great.
Some great calls
Really
as
enjoyed
well.
it. Now we've got a serious story, my friend. Okay. Mexico's co-hosting of this summer's FIFA World Cup could be compromised by the eruption, and it is an eruption in drug cartel violence, which began on Sunday. It's been
incredible,
absolutely unbelievable. Now, to tell us a little bit more about this, we're pleased to say joining us now is talkSPORT reporter Ben Jacobs. Ben, very good morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
I mean, thanks for joining us, first of all, Ben. I mean, it's quite remarkable, this story. I've actually been watching it the last 24 hours or so.
Yep.
I mean, it must seriously question whether it can go ahead in Mexico, mate.
Yeah, at the moment, FIFA's position is to monitor the situation, and the removal of games would be an absolute last resource. FIFA are adamant that it's speculative and hypothetical. The idea that they would have to consider games not being staged in Mexico, but the drug cartel-related violence is privately amongst sources cause for concern. Now, the first gauge is not going to come during the World Cup, but actually in March, when in these inter-confederation playoffs, Mexico are due to host New Caledonia against Jamaica, and the winner of that game will go on to take on DR Congo on March the 31st. So naturally, if this violence continues into March and those games are seen to be unsafe, this will become a much bigger problem as far as FIFA are concerned. But of course, this is drug cartel-related violence, and sources within both football and the Mexican authorities believe that this is not the norm, that it can and has already been controlled in the last 12 to 24 hours to an extent. And also there's a feeling amongst some senior officials within FIFA that this violence would not be, in effect, targeted to disrupt or coincide with the World Cup itself. So FIFA remain calm about the situation, and the removal of games is seen to be possible, but a very last resort.
That's incredible, Ben, because we've seen the clips of like tourists that are trapped in hotels and flights haven't even been given a new flight to come home. And you're telling me it's 4 months away, the World Cup, and the World Cup's on, everyone's going to behave, all the cartels will behave, there's not going to be any issues. Come on. If you had any sense, you wouldn't be flying to Mexico to go and watch a game. I wouldn't. Republic of Ireland play Mexico, do they? Like, you'd be having second thoughts, wouldn't you, on flying out there?
Yeah, I think that it's more if, as authorities believe, and so do FIFA and security experts seem to align with this, that those involved in this drug cartel-related violence have specific aims, and ultimately they view this as a business, then the World Cup can be complementary in some ways to how they do business and how they can make money. And as a consequence, disrupting a World Cup within Mexico for whatever reason would only be logical to make perhaps a political statement and to undermine a World Cup that it's believed amongst security experts, those involved in this violence actually want. As you say, and it's a fair point, there has to be safety and security, and we have to understand whether this is continuous and volatile violence between now and 1st March and then the summer. And if so, FIFA privately accept that they would have to at least consider removing games. But if it goes away and then calms down, which is what everyone's focused on, the feeling is that it would be unlikely to return come summer, because actually the World Cup would benefit those that are currently involved in this current very volatile and disturbing violence.
It's a funny one, but we're not funny. But funny, peculiar, Ben, because I've been lucky. I think I've been about six, whatever it be, 5, 6, 7 World Cups. And generally speaking, they're probably the safest places on the planet when the World Cup's on because of security. Whether it's Russia, South Africa, Qatar, all these places who aren't without the problems. But generally, when you go there, you feel safe. But there's just something about this, Ben, I think's a little bit different. You hear stories and you watch these things about the drug cartels. Never mind FIFA, Ben. What if some of the countries who are playing in these cities didn't fancy it? How would that be perceived and how would that be received?
Yeah, I think if a country felt unsafe, then they would make that complaint to FIFA, and naturally it would be taken very seriously. So that's a very interesting scenario where this is taken out of the hands of Mexico or FIFA because a country scheduled to play there says, I don't want to go, it's not worth the risk. Or even potentially if they're training there, that they're no longer interested because of safety and security. So any football federation involved, whether on the periphery or playing in Mexico, is also going to look at this. And that's where it's out of FIFA's hands to an extent. And it becomes very important that the federal government sends an appropriate number of effectively army personnel. So the Mexican army are going to play a huge part in this World Cup, regardless of this latest cartel violence. And in Guadalajara, especially in the metropolitan areas, they are going to have to convince any teams involved in FIFA that this is going to be a safe World Cup. And if they can't, then there could be a big problem.
Wow. Just a quick one, mate. We also received news that Gianluca Prestiani will be suspended for tomorrow night's Champions League playoff second leg against Real Madrid. And Benfica following the incident of alleged racism towards Vinicius Jr. in the previous leg. Anything else on that, mate? Any more you can tell us?
Yeah, so what I can tell you is two things. The first, Jose Mourinho, who is suspended for the second leg after being sent off after the incident, is not expected to carry out any media in the build-up. And Benfica plan to appeal, and they might even bring Prestiani within their official squad party.
Wow.
But sources indicate there is basically no time to successfully appeal. And as a consequence, this provisional one-match ban stands. Prestiani is not expected expected to be part of the second leg against Real Madrid. UEFA's Ethics and Disciplinary Committee have moved very quickly. Obviously, now they're analysing all of the footage further to determine what other action they could potentially take. But there's an official kind of legal process here, and the next step in that is the Benfica appeal. But Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. will see this as vindication of what they argue has happened, which was horrible and horrific racist comments that forced Vinicius to go to the referee and the players to briefly
What about Mourinho, Ben? Because obviously he's suspended as well. He got that red card. Is he going to be allowed in the stadium? Because I can't see Real Madrid being very polite to an ex-manager after his comments.
Yeah, Mourinho is suspended, as you say. The protocol, as you no doubt know, is that he can't be in the touchline, but he can be in the stadium. And under UEFA rules, he can't be prevented from that. So Mourinho expected to attend, but not, it's anticipated to do any pre-match media. But it'd be a big surprise if he's not in the Bernabeu at all.
Ben, just to quickly, mate, I mean, you say that official legal proceedings have still to take place, right? And I get all that. And I get the importance and the seriousness of the matter. But have UEFA not already prejudged these legal proceedings by saying he can't play in the game?
Well, remember, it's not UEFA because it's an independent body. So UEFA hear the complaint from Vinicius Jr. and Real Madrid. They then appoint an independent ethics investigator effectively, and the decision is taken based upon the evidence that they've looked at, that it requires a one-match provisional ban. They can use lip readers, they obviously have audio, they have all the different testimonies, and a bit like a drugs ban, when you fail your A test whilst waiting for the B test, you're positive and you're banned, and that's the protocol. And Benfica are unlikely to be able to appeal in time.
I'm just thinking though, Ben, I'm thinking a week's a long time. They could have maybe got the legal proceedings underway and finished and given whatever punishment if he's found guilty, you know, rather than do something and keep it going. But I do take your point that, you know, the seriousness of the matter is.
Do you think as well, Ali and Ben, that they've looked at it and said this game is going to be watched by millions of people? There won't be a handshake. It's going to be maybe a game where, like, do you know what I mean, the sort of fouls that will be taking place because of the seriousness of the alleged racial abuse. Maybe they've looked at that, Ben, and says, maybe it's the right decision to just take him away from this game. And then
I know we're tight for time, so just briefly on that. Again, it's not UEFA looking at it. It's not UEFA thinking about the magnitude of the match. It's an independent person and committee.
You're right to reassure us with that one. You're absolutely right, mate. Ben, brilliant, mate. There's never a dull moment, pal. Never a dull moment. Thanks very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Cheers.
Up next, we're going to be asking whose hands the Premier League title is truly in. Is it Arsenal's or is it Manchester City's? Coming up next.
Michael Carrick, unbeaten so far. A trip to Merseyside. They've enjoyed a bit of a new lease of life under Michael Carrick, haven't they? Got 5 games unbeaten at the helm. The only team yet to be defeated in the Premier League this year. And no side has claimed more points in 2026 than Manchester United's 15. But they do go to Everton. And it hasn't been a great start at the Hill Dickinson yet. They haven't quite bed in there yet. Michael Carrick, though, has been speaking pre-match, and he's looking forward to the trip.
Going away to Everton, I know it's a new stadium, but historically it's always been tough. It's always been the atmosphere and the supporters that they create. I think it's always been one of the toughest ones that I've played away from home, so we're aware with that. And then trying to be our best way we can, you know. I think we've we've got things to improve on, but we've got a good base and a good foundation moving forward. Good spirit. So we'll have to draw on pretty much all of that.
That was Michael Carrick speaking ahead of the game, and it'd be fascinating to see how they approach it, Martin, because it is traditionally a difficult place to go, but Manchester United always seem to do well away at Everton.
They do. It's a fixture that they like traditionally. Just interesting the job that Carrick's done since he's taken over. Mainu particularly has come in and just torn up that midfield, was deemed not good enough by the previous manager.
Well, they didn't have the ability to get an extra midfield player in because they were playing three at the back, did they? So he was sort of almost sacrificed for that.
Because of this obsession with playing in a way that players were never really.
From the Toffees to the Tractor Boys, the Eagles to the Seagulls, Gunners, Bees, Hammers and Magpies, Premier League teams have got a load of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire is also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles." And some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Yep, here we go. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ally and Gabby been with you since 6 o'clock this morning, this Tuesday the 24th of February. What a show we've had so far. Loved it. If you're just tuning in, here's what you might have missed. Kieran Maguire, who told us how dropping down to the Championship could affect the Spurs.
If you go from Champions League, where they are at present, to Championship, we're probably looking at a potential reduction in revenue of around about £250 million. They'll be in receipt of parachute payments instead of the money they get from the Premier League. Last year, they got 128 million from the Premier League. It would be 45 in terms of parachute payments. They won't get any of the money from the Champions League. They've earned 70 million to date, plus they've got gate receipts from those matches. If you take a look at the gate receipts, they're going to struggle to get 62,000 if it's Lincoln at home on a Tuesday night.
That's a bit harsh. I think Lincoln could maybe bring about 25,000 for that particular game.
I think it'll be sold out.
But it is a fact, isn't it? And I know Adrian, we're going to listen to Adrian in 2 seconds. He makes a point. Imagine that stadium in the Championship.
I know.
One of the best stadiums I've ever been in.
I went for the Villa game this season in the league. It was unbelievable, Eddie. Like the box I was in, the food, the cottage pie,
everything.
Cottage pie. A bit of spice to it. Tell you what.
Do you know the difference between
drinks? Lovely.
Do you know the difference between cottage pie and shepherd's pie?
I actually don't, mate. And I've always wondered.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you.
What's the difference, mate? How it's cooked?
No, no. You won't forget this now.
Different veg?
No. One of them's lamb mince and one of them's beef mince.
Is that it?
Yeah, that is.
What's cottage pie then? Which one is it?
That's a good question. Listen, there's no need for you to do that to me.
Come on, Ed. Tell him in his ear.
I'm educated.
Any chance, Ed?
No, I think cottage pie is beef, and I think shepherd's pie is lamb.
It's a good quiz question.
I'm sticking out there. Now,
so cottage pie is
I've
beef.
tried to tell you. I've tried to help you out there.
He says. Cottage pie is beef. Please be wrong.
That's poor for you.
Please
I've tried
be
to
wrong.
help you, and you've hung me out to dry. Scandalous from.
But Ali, you're right though. It's a fantastic stadium. What I loved about it is how close you are to the pitch as well.
Yeah.
You know, West Ham Stadium, too far.
Correct.
Like horrific
Correct.
to be at. You look at Spurs Stadium and everything about it should be a fortress.
It should, mate.
But it's not. It's the opposite.
I know, mate. Following Manchester United's 1-0 win last night over Everton, we were joined by talkSPORT Live football chief Adrian Durham. He said there's a sense of nostalgia with the way that United are playing just at the moment.
This was, United playing on the counter, winning on the counter, scoring on the counter, and this in certain times in Sir Alex Ferguson's reign, that's exactly what Manchester United did. So it was a throwback. Carrick understands the DNA, so there's a lot of positivity right now. Even if they don't quite get it right, Man United, they still managed to pull it out of the fire. So yeah, all is positive right now.
That is, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's moment in time.
Yeah. More importantly, though, it is beef.
So I was right.
Yeah, you're right. Beef mince.
That was a good guess.
Shepherd's pies, lamb or mutton mince.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a shepherd's pie guy. Sorry, what was talking about?
I'm getting used to it. See if I'm getting it for nothing at the Tottenham Stadium.
Oh, you're not wrong.
I'm either.
Oh,
I'm shepherd's pie or cottage pie.
All over them. Sorry, what was you talking about, Adrian?
We're talking about Adrian there. We're talking about Manchester United. They've been unbelievable, haven't they? Since Carrick's come in. I mean, in all seriousness.
5 wins, 1 draw, 12 goals scored, 6 conceded,
Gab,
3 clean sheets.
Is it as easy as it is and straightforward as just playing people in the correct positions? Do you know what I mean? Going 4-4-2.
Yeah, obviously, like
a 4-2-3-1 rather.
Listen, the formation is the biggest part, of course. The three at the back wasn't working. Fernandes is perfect, playing higher up. But as well, Ali, what sort of like manager is Carrick compared to Amorim?
Yeah.
You know, the way Amorim fell out with players, he fell out with Mainu. Like Manchester United's probably one of their biggest assets. Now he's come back into the team. Everyone looks happy to play for the manager. You know, Michael Carrick, Woodgate,
It's just a completely
Johnny
different
Evans.
vibe, isn't it?
I'll tell you who won't be happy though. Your mate Roy Keane. Because when they come in, he was like, "What's Johnny Evans doing? He shouldn't get the job." He won't be happy about how good it's gone.
I think Roy will be delighted because Roy's a United man. He wants to see United doing well.
Yeah, but he holds grudges, doesn't he? Wasn't he bringing up Carrick's wife? And yeah. So if Roy Keane, you're listening, Michael Carrick, Jonathan Woodgate, and Johnny Evans, fantastic coaches, doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, guys.
Now, Arsenal may have won the North London derby, but City also picked up 3 points at the weekend to keep themselves right in the Gunners' tails. This title race is fantastic, and it looks as though it's going right down to the wire, Gab. It's technically in both their hands at this moment in time. So you could say whoever wins all their games wins the title. I don't think it's as simple as that, because I don't think both of them, you know, again, I know,
don't be fooled.
I know they've got to play each other, so it's not going to happen, but you know what I'm saying.
Ali, there'll be more points dropped.
Correct. That is my point. Who's favourites for you at this moment in time?
Arsenal. I think either Manchester City will drop points against Leeds on the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you remember Leeds? That was the game that Leeds turned around their season. Do you remember? It was 3-2. Manchester City scored late.
We've not even spoke about Leeds.
I know, Leeds were very good against Aston Villa as well.
How well are they doing?
Exactly.
How well are they doing?
Leeds are doing very well.
Sunderland have dipped a little bit, right? Of course they have, but, and justifiably they were the flavour of the month for the first 3 or 4 months of the season because they were excellent. But Leeds,
yep.
Hey,
I don't think Man City.
Give Leeds a pat in the back.
I don't think Man City go to Ellen Road and do what Arsenal done a few weeks ago and win by 4. I don't see that happening. I see a tight, cagey game where Leeds are right up for it.
Well, I've got the next 4 fixtures in front of you.
Yep.
Arsenal, Chelsea at home, Brighton away, Everton home, Bournemouth at home, City, Leeds away, Forest at home, West Ham away, Chelsea away.
See, I think Arsenal pick up more points out of those 4 games than Manchester City. What about you?
I probably agree with you.
Yeah.
I actually probably agree with you. City,
even against Newcastle on the weekend, Ali, like City weren't great at times.
Well, Newcastle
very well.
Yeah, Newcastle were pressing.
Exactly. So I look.
But I also think City got a brilliant result at Anfield against a Liverpool side who I thought played as well as they have all season in the second half against City.
Yep.
And I think Pep genuinely deserves enormous credit for changing the team, changing the squad, and still
spending more money.
No, I get it. And you can
get your checkbook out.
Yeah, I get it, and you're absolutely right to point that out. However, again, you have to get your recruitment right. It's all right spending 60, 70 million, but you've got to spend it wisely. And they look at this moment in time as though they've done that.
And I look at City now, and I like the way they've gone pace. Semenyo and Marmoush off the wings, and then Haaland down the middle. They've gone more direct. Foden. Come on, last 5 minutes, Ali. That's a question for another day. Phil Foden's game time in the last 2-3 months.
No, I know, mate.
Nowhere near enough. Shirky come on before him.
I'm having him, by the way.
Yeah, he's very good. But Foden's probably thinking, I've gone from main guy last season to like this season, like bit part player. What's gone on with his relationship with Pep Guardiola?
I think that's going to have a serious effect on his
100%.
Certainly his starting position in England at the World Cup. Here's one for you. League Cup final coming up.
Ooh, what a game that's going to be, by the way.
Do you think? I'll tell you what I think, right, before I ask you what you think. I think psychologically it would have had a bigger effect on Arsenal if they lost it than it would Manchester City if they lost it.
Agreed. Because if the Arsenal lose that game, it sort of puts that doubt in your mind of like, are we really bottlers?
Yeah.
Are we really got it in us to win a trophy? Could be that be the first one. Okay, we're not going to get the quadruple now. Then the next one is the Premier League. But as well, how many points is going to be the difference by then as well?
Flip side of the coin, if they go and win it,
yep, confidence.
What a boost that gives them.
And Arsenal have to always remember when they played Manchester City at the Etihad.
Yep.
And Pep parked the bus. He went 5 at the back for the first time probably in his career. And they were sat back, weren't they? Frightened of Arsenal.
I
remember he brought
I remember it well.
And a half, and I was like, "What's going on here?"
I remember it well.
And they couldn't get out. Manchester City.
Yeah,
I don't think that happens at the Etihad.
But I didn't mind it.
Was you shocked though that Pep would ever do that?
I was pleasantly surprised that one of the most attack-minded coaches and one of the best coaches of a modern era could adapt to go in a far more defensive fashion. Brilliant, mate. Tell you, what an end of the season. What an end of the season. Oh, it's brilliant.
There's a top 5 race. There's a race for the title, relegation battle. That's what you want.
Well, we've not even spoken about it. Well,
exactly.
I've touched on it. Okay, mate, up next we're speaking to the boxing legend. It is Johnny Nelson. Can't wait to get Johnny on. As 2 greats prepare to go back into the ring later this year.
Let's talk about Oliver Glazner. Yesterday, the Palace fans who are putting up with a bit of a poor run of form, just 2 wins in 16. Their patience seems to be wearing thin. Sacked in the morning, chance came when I was in Mostar with them on Thursday night. They were not happy with Oliver Glazner yesterday. They held up a banner claiming that he is finished at the weekend. This is what he said during the week. He said, they can say and sing whatever they want. I know what I am doing. I would say the most important thing is stay humble. I think it's the same for the fans. Stay humble. Never forget where you're coming from. I think a few who are so critical in this situation are not humble anymore. Forget where you are coming from, and usually in life you are punished for this. I mean, has a manager ever been as blatant about wanting to get sacked and leave the club with a payoff as Oliver Glazner? And
Is that what you think he's doing?
Yeah. Do you not?
No, I think
just being honest.
I think he's got a view. I think he's made his decision that he wanted to leave. There's lots of reasons why he wants to leave, and some of them are justified. The manner in which he's done it, I think, is poor. The manner in which he's communicated is poor, and now what he's doing is pushing back because it's coincided with the perfect storm. Right, 9:19, talkSPORT Breakfast with Ally and Gabby with you this morning. It's all happening everywhere, but it's certainly all happening in the world of boxing. It's not only Tyson Fury that's making a return to the ring. Boxing greats Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather have agreed to a professional rematch in September. Pacquiao and Mayweather will fight in Vegas on Saturday, the 19th of September, with a bout live on Netflix. Pacquiao, winner of 12 world titles across 8 weight classes, while Mayweather has won all 50 of his professional fights, with 27 coming by knockout. The fight promises to be the richest fight in boxing history. Mayweather won the first edition by unanimous decision back in 2015. What a fight it was. When we get more on this, let's speak to former cruiserweight world champion and broadcasting legend, as of course Johnny Nelson. Johnny, good morning, mate.
Good morning,
How are
Johnny.
You?
Good morning, boys. Good morning.
Right, mate. Great stuff, mate. Brilliant. We're in top form, Johnny. We want to ask you first of all about this fight. Now, I'm going to get my cards on the table. I will watch it, but with some scepticism, mate. I love these two like you've no idea. I was saying to the guys earlier on, I saw Manny Pacquiao fight in Vegas. He fought Eric Morales. It was one of the best sporting events I've ever been to, mate. Mayweather is just an out-and-out legend, one of the best. Why are they doing it? Is it the obvious? Can't they let go, or is it financial, Johnny?
Well, as I say, boxing's a complete and utter drug, and the best in our sport struggle to really let go. Even I think I can still fight, and I'm 59.
Yeah.
Could get it in my head, but you've got to remember when they boxed in 2015, they were past the best then.
Yeah.
And the expectation, all the excitement, all the chat, and all the chatter, it was all there because people were thinking, "Oh my God!" And they were stuck in nostalgic times of thinking they were the fighter they were 5 years before that. So now, 6 years on, 6 years on. What more would you expect? They're both going to be slower. They're both going to be, you know what? There may even be a difference in the result.
Mm-hmm.
But I gather Mayweather lives in the gym. He's done quite a few exhibitions against, substandard opponents. And Pacquiao, with Mario Barrios, who actually got beat against Ryan Gosling at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good stake for him to say he's been in there with somebody active and youthful. So So the result could change, but the expectation of these two former greats being a shadow of their former selves should be low, and unfortunately, because us old boys remember them when you were back in the day.
Yeah.
We'll getting excited. We did the same with Tyson,
Of course.
I know AJ's. I know Fury. What Mayweather's doing an exhibition with Tyson, but again, I'm just curious. I want to know the devil in the detail there, and why did they do it? For the money, and that's what it's about. And even though his nickname's Money Mayweather, it's got to be for the money.
How addictive is it though, Johnny? Because we hear that like Tyson Fury's the same, and when he retires, he's obviously going to have a problem because he's addicted to fighting and keeping fit in the gym. From an ex-boxer like yourself, how addictive is it to stay in the gym even when you retire and that buzz of maybe having another fight?
So when you're in the gym, it's a lifestyle. It's a condition that you're used to. And I suppose I'm trying to compare it to someone like being in the army, and then you come out and you have civilian life, and I'm not saying on the battlefield. I mean in camp, being in the army, and you come out of civilian life, you're struggling to adapt between the normal things that the majority of us do. And when you're a fighter, again in camp, you can be selfish. You can just consider yourself and nothing else, and you're surrounded by like-minded people. So it's a struggle, especially as an adult, to settle into normal life. Tyson does it. Everybody does it, and I did it. And it takes usually about 5 years to actually get used to it. Now, staying in the gym, some fighters are comfortable not being in the gym. Most fighters, they've got that vanity. Oh my God, I used to look like this. So you're trying to hold on to it as much as you possibly can. And so the gym side of it isn't really a problem. It's the addictive side of it, mental, emotional. That's the side of it.
Johnny, tell me, mate, the fight itself, who's got most to lose? In my mind, and I don't know why, I think Mayweather's got more to lose. And Pacquiao, winner of 12 world titles, as we know, 8 weight classes, absolutely incredible. But Mayweather, of course, undefeated. Does that make it more important to him?
Without a doubt, he lives on that. He lives on being the greatest fighter ever. He doesn't even compare himself. He says he's better than Ali, Sugar Ray, all of the rest of them. And like it or not, he's older. Like it or not, he's not the fighter he was. And in his head, he wants the same adulation, respect, courtesy from when when he was actually an active fighter. He still wants that now. But for him to get turned over by Pacquiao now, for him personally, this will cut deep. It will cut deep. Because as far as he's concerned, he's the same guy he was 10 years ago where everybody fell on the knees for him. Now he can't brag and boast about that. And that's where he's at. That's why he's doing this thing with Mike Tyson. These two don't even like each other.
Yeah.
So that's why. So whatever rules they've got, you might as well throw them out the window. That's why it's got to go on there as an exhibition. Now with Manny Pacquiao is a bit more live than Mike Tyson will be.
Yeah.
Again, it will burn Mayweather more losing than it will Manny.
Sorry.
When you go, mate, I was just going to bring. I can't even think about letting you go, Johnny, without asking about. I mean, the breaking news the last couple of days, mate. It was. I mean, shocking. It was really, really shocking. Conor Benn, obviously, moving over to Dana White with Barry on. I know Eddie was on the show, I think, with Jim and the boys yesterday. We had Barry Hearn on the show yesterday morning. They are hurting, Johnny, like you've no idea. Well, you have got an idea, and I reckon with some justification, mate.
I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? I think there's two sides to it. And when I say this, people are jumping on you because, number one, this has been played out in public.
Yeah.
You saw how Matchroom put their reputation and everything on the line for Conor Benn. And so, therefore, the public have seen this. The public have seen this the business side out in public. The problem was Eddie, and I'll stick by it, I think Eddie has fallen in love with two fighters to think, I don't have to worry about that. And that's Anthony Joshua and Conor Benn. And these are two fighters that he thinks, I don't have to worry about that. The rest of them, I've got a strict to stickly business. So for this to happen, the business side of it, that's business. Because I'm quite sure Matchroom have done some business practices that where other people think, well, that's not fair. That's business. This is personal. And the reason why the public are jumping on it, because they have personally seen what's happened. They've seen how Eddie has taken flack. Simon Jordan hammered him every time he got the chance to. Eddie was getting hammered left, right, centre and stuck to his gun, stuck by this young man. Now, we don't know the details. We don't know if Eddie had an inkling this offer was on the table. If it's how it's presented, where it was just dropped on Eddie like it was dropped on us out of the blue, and Eddie had no idea, that's bad form. That's not cool.
Yeah.
And when Conor, I saw the interview he did with Boxing King Media, when Conor, when I saw what Eddie said, and he said he phoned Conor, and Conor, said we need to talk, and Conor said no. That's about maturity, because that's an uncomfortable conversation he didn't want to have. Conor himself said, I didn't want to have the conversation because I know I'm like, I'd have said stuff I regret. I'd have shouted, started screaming and bawling. He saw what he did to Duke McKenzie. Once your mouth runs away with itself and you see the red mist, you're saying stuff. God, I shouldn't have said that. So the discipline of Conor not actually doing that would have been hard. But what he did was a very hard thing to do. But you know what? He did what was best for him. Now, is there a compromise? Johnny, would you do that to Brendan? No one. I'll tell you what I've done. I'd said, Brendan, listen, this is the deal.
Yeah.
I'm going to share with you. Please don't tell him. Now, Brendan used to do that with us with promoters. Promoters would say, Brendan, I'm going to give you 10 bags for this fighter. Tell him you give him 5 and we're all right.
I felt a bit sick though, Johnny.
Brendan would come to us and Brendan would say, listen, I'm getting 10 bags, but I've used Thomas to tell you you're getting 5. So Brendan knew.
And you know where you stand.
Yeah, you know where you stand. So this is what Conor could have done with Eddie. Eddie, look, you aren't going to match this. I'm getting 15 mil. You aren't going to match this. I tell you what, I'm going to drop you 2. Keep it still, and be cool with it.
Yeah.
And so that way, he can step to one side and step to the other. Eddie's letting this boy earn some ridiculous money.
Yes.
And Eddie's thinking, you know what, this boy's been right on it. But Eddie is the sweetest, smoothest talker going. And realistically, the other reason why Conor probably didn't want to talk to him, because he might have talked him out of it.
Johnny, brilliant, mate.
Thank you, Johnny.
Really enjoyed that. Thanks for your time this morning, pal. Keep up the good work. Brilliant. Okay, what we've got? Listen, are you ready for this? Greg the Gooner questioned Gabby's winning credentials earlier, but fear not, because after the break, you are going to have the opportunity to get your hands on not 1, but 2 gold medals. Nicky O'Reilly's brace kept City in the title hunt with a 2-1 victory over Newcastle. Chelsea dropped points at home to Burnley. Excuse me. Liverpool strengthened their push for Champions League football thanks to a late controversial winner from Alexis McAllister. That was an interesting game. I thought when I only watched the highlights here, I thought Forest actually played well.
Brilliant, yeah.
But there's only one place we can start, as Arsenal made a title statement again in the North London derby, defeating Spurs 4-1. Incidentally, had 3-1 in McCown to restore their 5-point lead at the top of the table. As he was Tottenham's tormentor again. He now has 7 goals in his last 4 games against Spurs since last May. Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta said he stepped up another level last night.
I mean, he scored 5 goals in the last 2 games against them, which is extremely difficult to do. But I could see that he wanted to prove something. He was upset, even with me, because I didn't play him the other day from the beginning and some of the decisions that I made. And I started to understand how we're going to get the best out of him now.
Okay, Ray. Joker has also grabbed a brace. Arteta said it was his best game in a Gunner shirt since his summer arrival in Sporting Lisbon. I think that's a fair comment as well.
Absolutely. I think his movement was much better.
Yeah.
He was involved in more. He looks more of a threat in front of goal. You know, the positions he took up were so much better. If you look at his last goal, just running down that sort of channel, and you know he can cut inside and go for that far corner. I thought the first one was a great goal as well.
I loved his first one, mate.
Really good goal.
I loved his first one.
Good ball into him.
Yeah.
Good first touch. Got
First touch made it for him.
Yeah.
And then he could whip it with that bit of pace and power to beat the goalkeepers.
Amen Corner, perhaps the most feared run of holes in golf. Each year it claims the tournament hopes of many, with balls hitting bunkers and water traps aplenty. But why is it so fearsome, and where did it get its name? Just the thoughts of holes 11, 12 and 13 at Augusta National gives the likes of Rory McIlroy and Jordan Spieth the shivers. McIlroy hit 3 over and Spieth hit 4 over in their final rounds to blow their hopes of a green jacket in 2011 and 2016 respectively. But did you know Amen Corner's name is inspired by a jazz song from 1933? American sports writer Herbert Warren Wint, on the left here, wrote about it in 1958, referencing the song shouted in that Amen Corner when describing the run. Hole 11 is a par 4 over 520 yards with a green guarded by a pond and bunkers to the front edge. 12, perhaps golf's most famous hole, is a par 3 over just 155 yards. The green's guarded by Rays Creek at the front, more bunkers and azalea bushes ready to punish the smallest error. Then there's the 13th that teases the hook shot over the trees. It's a dogleg par 5 over 545 yards that's inviting for big hitters who want to reach the green in 2. If you want to win the Masters, you have to keep your score down around Amen Corner. So who'll be the next to fall victim to golf's most famous and most daunting challenge?
Right, where are we? I'll tell you, I'm trying to catch my breath here. 9:33. It's Tuesday the 24th of February. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Ally Gabby and our good friends at Arnold Clark with over 20,000 used cars online to choose from. They will have the car for you now. Earlier on, we're joined by Team GB's half-pipe bronze medalist Zoe Atkin, who was in tremendous form, and the Stardust just grows and grows. Delighted to say we've got a total of 3 gold medals in the studio now, as we're joined by mixed skeleton gold winners Matt Weston and Tabby Stoker. Guys, I've got so much to read here, right? But with the greatest respect, I'm going to let that go because we want to value every minute we've got with you. First thing we've got to say, congratulations. I mean,
thank you very much.
It was unbelievable to watch. Absolutely unbelievable. Try and put it into words what it means.
I don't think I have words yet. I don't think I fully digested just how impactful this gold medal is going to be to my life and the way that it can inspire people. But the support that we've had has just been incredible. And in that moment when Matt crossed the line with the mixed team and it was green and we knew that we'd won, I've never felt prouder of me, of him, of our team. Is
it the same for you guys? Because we're sitting watching it, right? We watch you coming flying down and flying round, and we're just sitting there going, please go green, please go green, please go green. Is that how you finally know?
Yeah, so we have no idea how we're doing when we're going down the run. Like, we just basically have to kind of focus on what we're like, the task in hand, and making sure we're doing the right steers at the right time. But the only time we find out if it's been any good is when we cross the line, because there's a timing thing just after the finish. So it's the only time you can actually see how well you've done.
Well, I've got to ask you, right? I was reading, we're doing it, all the notes come in and stuff like that, and there was gymnastics, I think, for yourself, and a bit of netball, and I think you were a bit of rugby and taekwondo.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do.
The natural progression,
we'll just
obviously.
Go to the skeleton. I mean, where did it come from?
Yeah, I guess for me, and I think the same for Matt, it's like a talent ID process that UK Sport put on for lots of different sports that don't really have like grassroots programs. Like, we don't have a skeleton track in the UK, so it's not like you can do it as an after-school club. So for me, I saw that advert on Instagram when I was about 17 and just signed up, essentially, and went to like a base trial and got picked for skeleton.
Yeah. Matt, when you was at school, your teacher said that you had no fear.
Yeah.
Anything, and there could have been people playing rugby and you're twice the size, no fear. Has that led to your success?
Yeah, I think
as well. No fear of anybody.
Yeah, definitely, and like ultra competitiveness as well. I think we've done some like kind of personality evaluation stuff like within the team, and you're either someone who, if there's like a piece of cheese, do you see the cheese, or do you see the cat that could get you? Like this, it's kind of like a weird analogy, but I'm all that, like 100%. I just see the outcome. I don't see any of the dangers. I don't see anything that can kind of go wrong. I'm just kind of full steam ahead, whether it's good for me or not, really.
Were you aware, guys, of the reaction back home and the response and the support? Because we were watching it. I mean, I loved it. I loved it start to finish. But I'm looking at it, and it looked fantastic. The whole thing looked fantastic. The support, everything about it, you know, from start to finish, great. Were you aware what was going on at home, or were you keeping in touch? I'm guessing your family had been out there.
Yeah. So not so much at home. It was the biggest crowd we've ever had, I'd say, for a skeleton race. Like seeing all of my friends and family. I think the fact that it was in Italy meant that so many people were able to come and support, which was just incredible. The cheers and the atmosphere at the track really, really helped with the racing and just feeling supported. But then I think since then, seeing the way that it's impacted the nation, seeing how many people have been inspired by it, seeing how many people have just reached out with such positive messages and the way that it's inspired them and their children and their communities, for me, that's been incredible, and that's like what this gold medal means.
We always when we have people in here, athletes that win so many honours, we always think about what about the next generation. Is that something that you look at as well, of like how big can this actually get of the kids?
There's the one we're just reading. You're talking about
4,000 people
after your win.
It's gone over 5,000 now.
4,000 people signed up for the British Bobsleigh and Skeleton Association.
Yeah.
That tells you all you need to know.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that like there's obviously so many people that watched it, there's going to be a small percentage of those that went and like researched the sport, and then even smaller percentage that went to the British Bobsleigh and Skeleton page, and then even smaller that signed up. And the fact that that's still 5,000 people is absolutely crazy to us, the fact that we've had that much impact on people. But it's just kind of definitely been a whirlwind how much support we've had. We've had so many messages, so like our kind of Instagrams have blown up a little bit from that, but in a really, really positive way. It's been like we've had so many messages of all support and kind of like admiration for what we've done, and it feels a bit weird because we just kind of went there to kind of do our job, and then we come home and it's just been this.
What are the emotions like though? You know, when you knew we got gold. Like speechless,
amazing,
like my heart's just going now talking about it, and I think even for me, just like the representation, like us being up on the podium, like for me as a woman, as a mixed race woman, to be stood there with a gold medal, I think that's the first time for Team GB that's happened, and to think of all the young women out there who are going to see me and think, I can do that, like that's someone that's like me, and that's going to open up like sport, and especially winter sport, hopefully, for so many kids. Like I'm from London, I didn't grow up doing the winter sport, so like I'm gonna create that space for those young people to believe that they can also achieve, and that's just insane to me.
Incredible.
And the individual, I've got to say, Matt, was it 0.88? I mean that's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean that's quite a difference to second place.
No, that one felt pretty nice, to be honest. It was I kind of knew what I needed to do. I knew, like, I felt pretty comfortable with the track. I felt pretty comfortable with, like, where our equipment was, where, like, my sliding ability was, and, like, physically as well, to be able to get the job done. But I think having all that potential is one thing, but being able to get it over the line it felt, like, amazing. And the relief you probably saw as I crossed the line, it was insane. I just burst into tears. I couldn't control it. It kind of just, the emotions hit me straight away. Like more relief as well, that we'd been working so hard for so many years, and then to finally cross the line and have that, it just felt absolutely amazing.
Looking at the sport from the two of you, right? When I ask you this question, Gabby and I obviously played football, where team game, you know, you had 245 minutes, you made a mistake, wasn't a disaster, right? You could maybe go out and try and recover from mistake. Double-edged question for you. How different did you feel being a team? Was that added pressure, right? And secondly, my question to you would be, in terms of your actual run, do you know when you've made a mistake in that split second, and how do you recover from it?
Well, I think for us, being like you say, because we're an individual sport, we're very much focused on our own performance. So to have the opportunity to work as a team and be a team, I came from team sports as well, from like rugby and things like that. So to have the opportunity to be part of a team feels so special. it's actually way more fun, actually.
No, see, that's the point I make, because I look at guys like the Ryder Cup, for example.
Yeah.
That you don't get more individual sport than golf.
Yeah.
But when they come together, it's special.
It's so much more fun.
Yeah.
So much more fun.
I love it. And like you said, our sport comes down to such small margins. And when you're sliding, you have to stay so present. It's all happening so fast. So it really is just you and the sled. And you have to let anything go if you've not got the line that you wanted, or maybe you got the timing wrong. You have to just let it go and stay in the moment. But then I think within the team event, I had the man who just won Olympic gold, and I had to go and be in a team with him. And, for me, that was definitely pressure. He wasn't putting it on me. So in my head, I was thinking, you need to be solid here. Like, you don't need to do anything different, do anything crazy, try and break the mold. You just need to go and lay down a solid performance so that when he can do his run, he's gonna, have probably the fastest run as he had the whole time. So there was definitely that bit of pressure for me, but I also had so much trust in him and in myself. Our preparation, we've got, world champ silver medals multiple times together as a team. So there was confidence there, but there was definitely pressure.
I can't lie though, when I was watching, I was like, we can't lose to Germany.
No.
Oh, the rivalry. So I was in your mind a bit
They were just delighted it couldn't go to penalties.
That was a definite motivator, to be honest. When I saw that it was Germany 1-2 in the leaders box before we went down, I was like, come on, Tabs, we got to sort this out. Come on.
It was fantastic. I've got it. I tell you what, it was Saturday night. I've got the boys on the colour on my big screen. I've got Man City on my iPad and things like that. It took over, guys. Thanks so much for coming in to see us.
Incredible.
On behalf of everybody, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You've done us all proud. Brilliant.
Can we show the medal to the cameras? Well, not one medal, two for you.
Exactly.
We got all three.
There we are.
Fantastic.
Are we looking there?
Over the,
I was
that many, there's some of the medals,
It's a while since we've had those kind of trophies in this studio, by the way. It's absolutely amazing. Congratulations, well done.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for joining us. What time we've got? It's 9:43. We're in the final run for home. 10 to go. Well, 15 to go. And I think Jim and Simon coming next. Thanks, guys.
You'll see both of them today.
Yeah, foul.
Thank you.
Definitely 100%.
Giving it free.
What are we doing here? Ref, don't let
Cross comes in from the right-hand side. Gabriel goes up to win the header.
Ref, what are we doing
Conan
here?
Moani takes it down and scores.
Ref, what are we
the
doing
referee, as soon as the ball hit the back of the net, has given a foul.
Ref, what are we
How
doing
much contact is there?
Ref, let's
Has
not
he
be dumb.
pushed him? Has he shoved him? Let's have a look at a replay, Abby.
Ref, let's not be
this
dumb.
is soft.
This is going to be so soft.
If it's soft, because it's soft doesn't mean it's not a foul. Let's get that one right.
If it was on you lot.
It's not though. It's on you.
Gallagher, ball comes in.
Yes.
Oh, that's no way a foul! It's no way a foul!
He's pushed him, ref.
Are you joking?
That's got no place in the game.
Oh, it's so
That's got
soft!
no place in the game.
CJ,
He's a big 6'5" centre half. That's embarrassing.
We have to let the ref
That is
rest.
a disgrace.
Look at that. Oh, ref.
Oh, that's not a foul. That's embarrassing. That's a goal.
That is
That's not a
horrible.
foul.
Oh,
That's
my
not a
days.
foul.
How is that not being?
Oh, my God, ref. That's
is
got no
a
place in football.
disgrace.
That's got no place in football.
That's disgraceful.
That's one of the most violent tackles I've seen in a minute. That is crazy. That is crazy.
That is an absolute
Talk to the ref.
disgrace.
I didn't see it, so I can't comment on it. I have to see the replay.
I think that's a disgrace. That
I don't know, man.
is so
I don't know, man.
soft.
It's a classic example of slow motion making it look worse than it
Oh,
There
my
is,
God.
there is minimal contact, and the big lad's gone down
That's
like
crazy.
an absolute.
How about that then?
Wow. How nice were they?
Oh, mate, that was fantastic. I'm actually buzzing after that.
100%.
What a great
like you
couple.
says, though.
What a great couple, aye. What about him?
You wouldn't want to, like...
No, I'm not taking him
challenge
on
him for anything.
He'd that be steely look in his eyes, do you know what I mean?
Arm wrestle beat you.
Aye. Taekwondo. Don't even think about taking him on at Taekwondo.
Race, I bet he's quick.
I bet he's quick.
Yeah, everything.
I bet he can swim.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Climb up a mountain.
I've got to say, he'd special forces written all over him, didn't he?
100%, mate. Both of them, though, amazing achievement. And
mate.
really proud of themselves. And they deserve everything that's coming for them, Ali.
What a brilliant couple.
Fantastic.
What a absolutely fantastic, mate. Really enjoyed it. Ally and Gabby with us this morning. Fancy joining talkSPORT, the famous Cheltenham Festival for Gold Cup Day. Well, now is your chance. We are going to be giving away the ultimate hospitality experience for two on Friday, March the 13th. What you'll get is a full day of VIP treatment, a 4-course lunch, complimentary bar all day, celebrity tipsters and much more. It's the best way to experience the races. And you'll also get the opportunity to meet some of the talkSPORT crew. You'll have until 4 p.m. this Friday to get your entries in. And here is how you do it, Gap. For your chance to win, text 128 3338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. The lines close, as I said, this Friday at 4 p.m. That's when you'll need to answer your phone, of course, if it rings. 18 plus, beg your pardon, 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a talkSPORT promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So for your chance to win, text 1 to 83338 now. It's time for a bit of this.
Got an issue? Why can't you see? All you need is some help from me. Give my lamp a rub. 1, 2, 3. I'm the Gabby Genie.
Well, you certainly are. You're a Gabby Genie. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
You all prepared for this?
Yeah. I've been given 30 seconds notice on these, by the way, guys. Thanks for that, producer. Cheers.
I've never seen you panic like that. That's great. Right, Gab, here we go. Remember you stuck me in it with that shepherd's pie? Right, okay. I'll look after you, mate.
Sorry.
As we all know, every good genie has the ability to grant 3 magic wishes, and the Genie Gab is no different. So let's have our first rub, Mr. Genie.
To be honest, I didn't know it was my 1200 game. I didn't know it was my 50th game back. So thank you for telling me. And it's a big number now in football. I've always said that, I don't want to be Neil Warnock and I don't want to be Sir Alex. I'd like to be Sir Alex with the trophies he got, but my plan's not to be going on and on, because I think there's a time when you have to step away. But I feel young at the moment, feel energised. But I wish you could get rid of that disappointment you feel after you lose. It doesn't get any easier as you get older, I've got to tell you.
It's incredible record. Absolutely. I mean, right, Davy Moyes is asking you, Gab, for another 10 years of success at Everton and a trophy win. Do you grant them that
100%.
wish?
I think the job he's done at Everton.
Isn't it brilliant?
You look at Everton in 9th place in the league, 37 points. Obviously, they're going to be safe from any relegation battle. Can they push in to the top 7 every chance? And I just hope that he gets the right finances in the summer window. What are you laughing at?
I'm not concentrating because I'm getting stick like you've no idea.
What?
And the boys are all right. They're giving me dog's abuse because we were going to that shepherd's pie and cottage pie.
Yeah.
And they're all saying the same thing. What's a shepherd's job? It's to look after sheep.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's going to be lamb mince.
Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? Not hard, is it? It's not rocket science, is it?
all I would say to our wonderful listeners is there's a way of telling us, right? There's no need to be so sarcastic and putting us down. So the bottom line is you've got Moisey. I'll listen again now.
No. I think what he's done though, Ali, has been fantastic at Everton. He's
tremendous.
Steadied the ship, hasn't
Tremendous.
It'd be nice for him to get the right funds again in the summer, where he can improve that squad of players again. Does he get Jack on a permanent? That might be something he's interested in, but Everton fans and David Moyes want them to get into Europe and win trophies. So I think be careful what you wish for. West Ham would love David Moyes back, what he's done for them. So I think he's got another 5 to 10 years definitely in him.
Good man. Number 2, going to wee rub of that lamp, Mr. Genie.
Oh no.
Yeah, encourage them to dream and to think, what if, to have positive thoughts. All of those things I think are really healthy for the group. ultimately you have to break it down when you're in my seat, and breaking it down to just trying to win every game, to try and focus on the detail of the performance. We trained well this morning in terms of trying to set up what we think we need to do tomorrow. So it's sort of small steps. But in the back of your head, I think it's great to have those thoughts, because that's going to only inspire you to give your best.
I'm a massive fan. Right, I'm getting my cards on the table right now. I'm a massive fan of Eddie Howe. I really am. I think doing a great job, and he'll continue to do a great job. I'm going to ask you this question now. Do you grant the wish to Eddie Howe of allowing his fans to dream big in the Champions League? Do you grant Newcastle the wish of going far in the Champions League?
Why not? They can play Barca or Chelsea over 2 legs.
Why not?
St James's Park, Newcastle have made that a fortress. Why not? With the right players, can they get Guimaraes back? Maybe touch and go for that game. But Joe Linton's back in action now in that midfield. Tonali's in great form. Jacob Ramsey and Willock are doing very well. Anthony Gordon and Barnes. If they can get Elanga up to speed. Livramento is meant to be back soon. That'll be a big signing. Not signing, a big player to have back at that right back position. Why not, Ali?
Why not?
Why not? Because they're not going to make Champions League in the league. So no chance of tops.
100%. We cannot take their dreams away
on the Champions League.
Everybody has to dream.
Yes.
Now we're going to finish on a nice, happy ending. Okay.
It's not punch, is it?
No. Oh my God. Punch the monkey. Right. I've still not recovered for that since 6:30. Barcelona and Spanish forward Ferran Torres has claimed this about scoring a goal. The quote is this: scoring the goal, well, it's like something that happens at the end of a special time. It's an indescribable feeling, honestly. Right?
Yeah.
Would you
Where's
grant?
this going?
No, it's a question.
Keep it PG.
Would you grant yourself the wish of rolling back the years and scoring a goal again? I would. I know it's your. I would love it, mate.
What goal in what game? For Scotland, or an Old Firm goal, or?
Well, all of them were special, but there's ones that stick out in your mind. There are ones that stick out in your mind. I mean, I remember a game at Ibrox when we were chasing for the title, and we hadn't won the title for a good number of years, and there was about 3 or 4 minutes to go, and it was the scrappiest goal you'll ever see in your life. I don't even think it hit the net. I think it went over the line, and I can still remember the feeling, and I can still remember the noise. But oh man, I'd love to sample that again.
Yes.
Would you not?
I think for me, probably my one was my first derby goal at St Andrews.
Yeah.
Winner against Birmingham City after I'd blocked one on the line. Other end, 10, 15 minutes later, I scored that goal. And I remember jumping into the away end, the Villa fans, and didn't even feel loud. It just felt like a weird moment that you probably, whoa, I've just scored a winner against Birmingham City, the team that I despise as a child, as a Villa fan. That feeling of the fans jumping on you, you've got the stewards falling over rally, and you've upset hundreds of thousands of opposition fans. There's no better feeling.
Well, you're asking me what would be my favourite goal against Celtic, man. Dear me, I'll need at least 24 hours to think about which one of my 29.
Which was the most important?
Listen, you've glossed over.
29?
It's the 29, man.
29.
I'll never think about that, mate.
Which one was the most important?
All of them, mate.
We've got a minute.
Against Celtic?
No, but was there one that you scored in it?
Yeah.
Helped you in the title race?
The semi-final at Hampden, we're down to 10 men. Davy Robertson had got sent off for GBH and Joe Miller. It's a great story, right? Because
GBH sounded like it was normal every game.
Well, you saw Big Butchie's tackle. Archie Knox had wound Robbo up because Robbo used to play with Joe, and Joe was his pal at Aberdeen. And Archie was like, you playing against your pal today, right? None of that pal stuff, right? And he wound Robbo up with fever pitch. And Robbo gets sent off. And I remember Walter looking at Archie going like, yeah, stupid. Happy days.
You know what you should do though? You should meet up with loads of them ex-players and put a little reel together of all the red cards that happen now. The one again for
Oh, I
Celtic.
know.
You know, if you put all the red cards
know.
now, or you get a red card for, imagine
mate,
the laugh you could have with your friends.
Mate, the red cards at the weekend. I've already spoke about it yesterday. The one at Celtic was bad enough.
On St Mirren.
The one at St Mirren was an
touch him?
absolute disgrace.
Missed him?
It was a disgrace, mate. It really was. What are you up to today, my friend? I've enjoyed today.
I
Enjoyed
am back, and I might go to the cinema this afternoon.
Oh, good. I've not been to pictures for ages. Do you know that?
Wuthering Heights or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's a romance, apparently.
Right. Who are you going? Are you taking the kids?
Yeah. I'll go with my best mate.
Great.
What about you?
Great to see you. I've got the boys down. I'm going for a bite to eat with the boys, a bit of lunch. Well, then I actually heading back up today, so
Lovely.
a bit of lunch.
And a big man tomorrow.
Big man tomorrow. I was going to say thanks for your time today, Gabby. Hope you guys have enjoyed it out there as much as we have. Gold medals galore in the studio. What a show we've had this morning. I'm back tomorrow, as you heard, with Big Al. Do not go anywhere though, because up next it's Sam and Simon Jordan. Stay tuned.
What's the reaction been to Conor Benn's